invites you to seek and know, to believe what your dreams are of, brings the heart of your dreams toward love. Reach with your heart, my little one, beyond every night you will find the sun. Life is a wonder, and it's just begun to find the love in you. Now there've been skies, but not like this one. They always seem too high to touch. Dreams are real, and they've just begun. They're yours if you want them that much. Some people put off for tomorrow the dreams that they are for today. It is now, and we're proud to say we're reaching out to touch the sky. La 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 la. La 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 la. Close your eyes and concentrate. Let your imaginations fly. We'll journey through a cosmic state. We're reaching out to touch the sky. Some people put off for tomorrow the dreams that they are hoping for today. The time is now, and we're proud to say we're reaching out to touch the sky. it's right. We'll share our dreams and our passions. The sky shining bright, we've got it all. I say, we got it all, and I believe it's right. We'll share our dreams and our passions. The sky shining bright, we've got it all. Out of sight. We've got it all, and I believe it's right. We'll share our dreams and our passions. The sky shining bright, we've got it all. Out of sight. We got it all, and I believe it's right. We'll share our dreams and our passions. The sky shining bright, we got it all.
From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, from some place even higher. Ramblers are, ramblers are. I can touch, I can feel, I can hear and see so much more than a fantasy. I can run, I can jump, I can dance and sing. Believe in yourself and do anything.
Believe in yourself and do anything.
From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, but from some place even higher. Ramblers are, ramblers are. I can walk, I can talk, I can listen and learn as the wheels in my mind begin to turn. But I'll never forget what you've given to me. The power to touch, feel, hear, and see.
The power to touch, feel, hear, and see. What does it take to build a friend? A little bit of trust and advice to lend. I need a friendship, I know that's true. Just like the friendship I have with you. Just like the friendship you have with me. Yes, just like the friendship I have with you. Together we can make him be exactly like our fantasy. With bits and parts and faithful hearts.
Creating Remlazar. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another stream. Welcome to Foil Friday. How's it going? I hope you're all having a good one. Yeah. I don't have anything interesting to say. We're on a stream. How's it going? I can juggle. MH Darkbeast says, praise be to Queen Hannah. The final trailer just came out, so figures we would enjoy that before the conspiracy craziness. This trailer actually looks great. I've seen it already, but I will watch it. I'm gonna have to remove this for YouTube, but it's fine, because the trailer looks excellent. I'm gonna add a juggle command, so you can use channel points to make me juggle. I don't know how much I'm gonna set it for, though. I'm not saying it's a rip-off, but it's a little derivative of Life Size. Do you guys remember Life Size from the early 2000s with Tyra Banks? Bumble Homestead with 200 bits says, juggling and foil and amusing instruments. We're on our way to a whole carnival. Yeah. Big. Fucking legend. Meek says, honestly, I'd watch it. You should. It looks fun. Like, I'm not even saying ironically I'll watch it. It just looks fun. It just looks like a fun, funny movie. Doesn't take itself too seriously. Looks fun. I'm down. Anyway, let's get into tinfoil, shall we? Dr. Gamble says, ah, man, this is gonna be like the Lego movie all over again. Even, you know, weird thing? Will Ferrell is a businessman, villain. It's basically the same plot as the Lego movie, right? Will Ferrell should just play the same character. Fuck it. The Lego movie makes me cry. It's alright. It's just because I have daddy issues. Alright, let's look at the bingo sheet. I forgot to clear it off beforehand, so I guess I should do that. It's like that movie Big Fish. Any movie with like a father-child dynamic, it'll do it. It'll do it. I got the primo daddy issues. Let's move this stuff. No? I swear, I always tell myself, this is the time I'll do it without moving the whole bingo card. And I've yet to succeed. Not song stuck in my head. Make your own kind of music. Sing your own special song. God damn it. Just one of those. You guys do anything at work that's just like a little frustrating thing like that? It's like a nemesis you cannot defeat, but it's your own actions. It's kind of where I'm at. Alright. It is now a clean bingo card. So get your bingo cards ready if you'd like to play. And without further ado, I guess just let's get to it. Hey Gina, how you been?
You can go to this video right here under I've got something to say. Well, I spoke about something, but then we went to the observatory. You can see what is at the observatory. It's not a normal raindrop. It's none of that. None of that. Look at this. Look at this. This is some kind of ship. It is. It's not what you may think it is. It shouldn't be dismissed, actually. Gina, what are you doing? Excuse me. Excuse me, Gina. What are you doing?
Why is Gina commenting on herself? Do I need to be here?
Think I'm going.
That is a big ass cursor. She probably has on the thing, like on certain screen recording programs, you can set it so your cursor looks much bigger in the recording than it is in reality. This often is used for, like, if you're showing someone a tutorial, you'd use that setting so people can see where your cursor is very easily in a tutorial for the computer. But people don't normally do that for just, like, screen recording purposes. Like, I don't do that.
Over here, this is where I want to go.
I don't even know if you guys can see my cursor. Can you guys see my cursor?
You see what looks like rain.
It's wiggling in the middle of the screen. Do I need to change that? That's probably annoying. Can you see this? You can see that? Jesus Christ. That's annoying. I should get rid of that.
Yeah, it looks just like rain. You think it's rain? No. Think it's ice? Maybe. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Look at that great big thing right there. I think it's some type of a life form. I really do.
I don't even know what she's talking about. What do you think is a life form?
Falling from the sky.
Puka, thanks for 30 months.
And watch this. That is a sphere right there. Perfect circle right above that thing.
Where? Like, I see the observatory, obviously. I don't know what she's talking about, though. What perfect... Does she... No way. There's no way she means the raindrops. Gina is the epitome of head empty, right? But, like, there's no way she doesn't understand what raindrops are on a camera, right?
Okay, that is not of this world. It's not. You can see it right there. Where, Gina? Right there. It.
Oh, fuck! It's the raindrops! Raindrops on roses and... She means the raindrops. I get it, chat. Every time I go out on a limb and try and think better of the subjects of this show, they fail me.
You do this. Look at that. Look at this. No. It's like a whole fleet, battalion of some kind of life form.
It's a battalion, guys. Doesn't understand how cameras work on the bingo card and aliens.
With this weather. Look at this coming down. These are last night's video. Go look at it. It reminded us of the blob. Look at that. That's not normal. It's too perfect. It's got a perfect snake shape. It does. Look at
It's got a snake shape? Why do all these conspiracy theorists see snakes everywhere? We got the guy who thinks the rocks are snakes. We got Roger who thinks that a whole mountain range is a snake. They think the NASA logo's a snake tongue. They're obsessed with snakes. And I know the reason. I understand for many of them it's the serpent imagery from Genesis and Christianity. I understand. But why? You and I don't have brain worms burrowed this deep. God damn it. Deal with your issues, people. Bumble Homestead says, I envy the state of constant awe she lives in. I don't. I've jokingly said that, but her life must be so hard. Like, life is hard enough when you're, like, average. How hard must her fucking life be?
See, it's a ship. It is a ship up there. And there were lots of them. They come down in the weather. They do.
Raindrops do tend to come down when it rains. Kind of by definition.
Oh, wild weather. Look at that. No. See it? Let's look a little bit more. This will be my short video for the day.
Sorry.
Look at that. Kind of look like slugs. If you've ever seen a slug, but this is, I hope there is not a space alien. Space being that, you know, has this shape, but obviously it could be a living, flying thing. Living thing. Let's see it on here. No.
Alright, Gina's making me sad. She needs to make me feel better now. Gina, dance for me. Puka, thanks for 83 bits. Cloud Wizard with 500 bits says, Hannah, you wished me luck in my job interview and it worked. I got offered all the jobs. That's awesome. I am extremely excited for you, and I will take all of the credit for that. Clearly your interview skills had nothing to do with it. It was my magic ability to bestow jobs upon people. Seriously, congratulations. I'm happy for you. Job hunting's never fun, which is why I'm glad I haven't had to deal with it in like a decade. 83% to level 1 on the hype train. You went to a local place near Wisconsin called the House of Gouda. Thought of you the whole time. Where's my cheese, creepy doll in the wall? Where's my cheese? I hope you had fun. That sounds great. Oh, she did this too. This video is titled, We've Got to Stay Alive During This UFO Disclosure.
I think the goal is staying alive in this world with the UFO disclosure. We got to stay alive.
Oh god, for some reason I feel like I'm about to watch John Travolta have really serious issues in the 70s for 2 hours. Aries Corinthier with 100 bits and a link. It's funny that him walking down the street to the Bee Gees is kind of like the famous imagery of that movie, or him doing the disco when, like... That's misleading to the tone of the film, if I'm being honest. JP Black says, dang, I just had an interview today. Could use some of that hand-reloaded luck. Well, I bestow it upon you. You will receive job. Steve with the Q with 60 bits says, raindrops on cameras and pixels on sun scans, shadows on cloud fronts and sunlight reflections, grainy blurred photos of birds on the wing. These are a few of Gina's alien beings. Well, that was pretty good. It got a little rough at the end, but... Why did it have to be snakes? Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Thanks, Indy. Canadian Unicorn with 100 bits gets us over level 1 of the hype train. Gnome Pickles says, gonna apply for a secretary job myself, which would be a step up from the night auditor gig where I work overnight. So may I too have the Hannah blessing? Indeed, you are blessed. That's how in our religion we bless people, I guess. You have to vogue or something. I don't know. Oh, Hans.
There's certain things that everybody should be able to notice. Anybody who was born, I would say, up until the mid-2000s was before.
Okay, so I'm included in this. I was born in the year of our Lord, 1994. So I should be in this group.
Before they really started going crazy with certain things in the sky. But what I'm going to focus on this video is the sun in particular, because this is end times biblical prophecy that there's going to be signs in the heavens, and more specifically than that,
Bible is the only source of wisdom on the bingo card.
In the sun and the moon, there's going to be signs as well. And so just to say what is written in the Bible that's going to happen to the sun, well, Isaiah told us that in the end, the sun and the moon are going to be brighter. And I think that both of that has happened in many of our lifetimes.
Hans, you can measure the luminosity of the sun and the moon. Like, that's a measurable, objective thing. You don't have to speculate. You could literally measure it if you thought that was true and course trends over time. But you're not going to do that. So why even bring it up? Agebeard says, maybe you can use some of your luck bestowing abilities on the debt ceiling. I work for a federal contractor. The contingency plans are trickling down, and this is going to be the mother of all clusterfucks if Congress doesn't fix this. That would be the Republicans' fault. For literally just being like, no, we're not going to do the thing we're required to do. Genius. 7% to level 2 on the hype train.
From what I remember the moon looking like, nothing like what it looks like today. Today it shines so brightly.
Hydrate.
And the sun is so much brighter today. And I think this is not something that I ever hear people point out. That is the basis behind the whole climate change thing. It really has changed. That's one of those...
Thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs.
Interesting. The whole CO2 nonsense is not right.
I'd love to know on what he's basing that statement. Like, literally every climate scientist virtually on the planet is in agreement here on greenhouse gases being the reason for, like, global warming as it currently exists. It's humans causing it. And Hans is just out here on the internet, just raw dogging it. Just like, no, that's not right. I refuse to elaborate further. That's not true. The sun's getting brighter. Trust me. Creepy Doll in the Wall, thanks for 100 bits. Vast Lunacy with 60 bits says, hey Hannah, thanks to your catfishing videos, I recognized the tenor of some odd text I got today. That's good. That's good. I'm glad. 47% to level 3 on the hype train.
I mean, the science behind it is gonna... They have to come from someplace, but the point is that has nothing to do with the ways that the Earth's climate has changed. It has to do with the sun being hotter and brighter.
Hans, you can't just... I mean, you can just say things. Like, no one's gonna stop you. But you can't just say stuff you made up in your head that sound like it makes sense to you as if it's as valid, or in this case, more valid than the entire body of actual academic peer-reviewed research on a subject. It makes you look like a crazy person. It makes you look nuts!
And the moon is more intense, and something that wasn't that apparent when I grew up. I mean, nobody ever told me this, but...
I imagine there are a lot of things you weren't told as a child.
The moon does have cold light.
No, it doesn't. That's literally not how thermodynamics works. You cannot transmit cold.
And...
You can move heat. You cannot transmit cold, because that's not how it works. Cold isn't a thing, it's just a way we describe the absence of heat energy. Cold isn't a thing. You can move places because cold is literally just atoms not moving very much, right? You can move heat around. Can't move cold around easily. You can only do so, really, by moving heat in an area somewhere else. And then it's cold, but you didn't move cold there. You moved the heat out.
I just think that that's a lot more apparent today. Just like the sun.
It would be like saying you have a flashlight that shines darkness. That casts, like, just dark shadow. Like, that's not how things work. Shadow is the absence of light. Cold is the absence of heat.
Feels so much hotter when the sunlight is on your skin. I think it's just more noticeable today.
Zytam says, was getting a drink. You're just a child. I was born in 1966. I turn 57 next week. I may be one of your older listeners. It's possible. You're about the same age as my parents, actually. Right in the middle, actually. I think one of them was born in 67 and one was born in maybe 65 or 69. Either way. Bubble Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub.
That the moonlight has a cooling effect, which is very strange.
Minute left on the hype train. Don't let it die, chat. We haven't gotten a level 5 in a while. I believe in you.
Anyways, don't look at the sun or you'll go blind. I'm going to get into this video. And one thing, maybe they knew that things were going to happen with the sun, because...
Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. You rock. You are so consistent with the gift subs. You fucking rule. I know I've been saying this lately, but I hope you know. Like, I really, really appreciate that. Like, the show couldn't work without people like you. Appreciate it. Sorry, someone said something I was reading. Cicero Fields says, I think I'm the oldest listener here. I'm 72 years old. That's impressive. If that's true, genuinely, hell yeah. Mike Max with 24 months says, here's an upcoming video of the guy I showed last stream, Billy Carson, if anyone's interested. Thank you for the link. I'm kind of surprised someone who's 72 would think anything I have to say has any value. Oh, this isn't live for another 60 minutes. I'll keep an eye on it, though. Genuinely, I don't even know why people my age want to hear from me. Smish with 100 bits says, I help. Thank you. 91% to level 5.
I'll just say that back in the day, the sun wasn't nearly as bright. Today, I totally agree. You should never, under any circumstance, look directly at the sun with your naked eye. Today. Unless it...
You should never look at the sun, ever. It's bad for your eyes. The UV's gonna fucking hurt your eyes. That's not good. Don't do that. Annie Kai, thanks for gifting a sub and getting us over level 5. If you want a maid outfit, I guess get to level 10.
It's very cloudy, or the intensity of the sun has been dampened.
Content's a break from politics. I also watched Time for Tinfoil. Cool.
In some way. Because today the sun is so bright, I can't even look near the sun anymore.
Hans, you should never have been looking at the sun! Gnome Pickles with 50 bits says, I don't know why anyone would want to listen to me, said the entertaining person who fights ignorance in a really great way and encourages people to be their best selves. That doesn't describe me.
On a clear day. And I use sunglasses today all the time, and I know people are
You good? Use sunglasses! Speaking of which, did I show you guys my gay sunglasses? Got these this year. Before Target moved all their fucking gay stuff. Annie Kai, thanks for gifting a sub.
I was gonna say
I call these my gay bands. Sunglass humor.
Because I'm older, but really I can tell that the sun is brighter than it used to be. I never used to wear sunglasses ever, and now I just there's not even a choice, because I'll just be blind without it.
You know what? I need to look on the bright side here. At least he is now, in the present, deciding not to look at the sun. I'll count that. I'll say that's good. Vast Lunacy, doing the thing they're famous for, gifting 20 tier 1 subs. Killing this hype train. How close to level 10 are we? Am I in any danger?
And I used to be able to look right
40% to level 8. I might be okay.
at the sun. I wouldn't do it for long periods of time, but I was just one of those children that teachers are like, never look at the sun, never look at the sun, and they're obviously...
How often did you look at the sun as a child that you remember this as like something that was beaten into your head? I think I had to be told like once, don't look at the sun. And you know, when you're a kid, I'm not saying no child looks at the sun. I'm sure as a kid I looked at the sun once or twice because you're told not to, and your kid brain goes, why not? And then you do, and you go, oh, it fucking hurts. That's why you don't do it. And then you continue to not do it for the rest of your life. Don't look at the sun. Creepy doll on the wall with 100 bits says, put Hannah in danger. Annie Kai, thank you for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Ferris Hex, thanks for 16 months. Everything else is taken, yo, gifts 10 tier 1 subs. Creepy doll on the wall gives 100 and another 100. Two genders in a trench coat with 55 bits says, Hannah, you have been one of my partner's favorite channels to watch in the last week. They've only watched you in the Titanic movie. Thank you for not being the Titanic. Da 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 da. Every time I see you, I feel you. That is why my heart does go on. Near, far, wherever you are, something, Leonardo DiCaprio goes on. Okay. H-Bird says, guess whose company he's in? Oh, fuck you guys. You fucking assholes. I fucking hate you guys. Hey, can you bring me the maid outfit? Yeah, it's in the bedroom. Thank you. God damn it. Okay. Creepy doll on the wall, I did that one. Terradona, thanks for 5 gifted subs. Who's your friend? Thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Do I remember where my feather duster is? Funny. No, I don't have a feather duster. We can't look at the sun, we can't look at the eclipse. What can we stare at? My tit window in about a minute. First name, Floyd with 500. First, Profane Priestess says, Hannah, I know you said you didn't want to cover Armored Skeptic at the same time as Jake, but I must beg you to reconsider. He thinks he's the reincarnation of Jesus, and that his YouTube content is a protracted magic ritual that stops the world from being destroyed. Is he really, or is he trolling? I can't tell. Stakem, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. DM Trey with 45 bits says, Hannah literally met my partner and some of my closest friends through you. Oh, that's nice. Gnome Pickles says, kids like baby Hans are the reason that we had to leave covers on the electric outlets and lock the cabinets with cleaning fluids. Terradona with 100 bits. Creepy doll on the wall with 100 says it's in the bedroom, huh? Because it was in the laundry. It got brought up with the laundry because I washed it. Two genders in a trench coat says, I can hear my partner cackling in the next room over. Thank you, Hannah. Skifazoa, thanks for 25 months. Says 25 months. Pretty sure that's a Freemason number. Oh, aren't they all? So now we're just waiting for the main outfit. God damn it. I like that the press pool people sounded like they were shit-talking Trump. Beautiful. 29% to level 11. God damn, you people are nuts. Scale of 1 to 10, how much do I think Trump's wife hates him? Probably 10, but I think she likes the money. That's the entire point of their marriage, which, like, whatever. People can be married for whatever reason, as long as they both consent. It's just... she could leave at any time. Twitch Chat Junior, thanks for 110 bits. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you like to entertain them for a moment? Maybe tell them about your minis or something while I put this on? Be back in a minute, chat. My lovely wife will keep you company while I put this on. KR Goss, thanks for gifting a sub. How high does the hype train have to be for Blahai to put on the maid outfit? I don't have a tiny maid outfit for it. That would be cute.
It would be cute.
Thank you. You're back.
Hello, chat. Long time no talk. And still my wife likes to blast things in her ear, and that sounded really bad. She always has the volume up just a ridiculous amount on everything. Just trying to finish everything up with my degree, chat. I also have a new hobby, as one does when they have ADHD, because we really like to flip between hobbies. But this one I'm really enjoying. I have started making like miniature things with polymer clay. I made Sharpies. Maybe she has too much wax in her ears. Possibly, but like we have one of those camera things, and I've cleaned her ears before. Holy fucking shit, Vast Lunacy. Thank you so much for, what was that, 50? Was that 50 subs? That's insane. Thank you so much. I'm gonna take those and think that they're for me, and since Hannah only got 20, I'm gonna say that I rock. So how are you, chat? How's it been going? Anybody else have any interesting hobbies? It might be hard not to tell her, since she's like, the bathroom is literally a step to the left. And Hannah says, and then a jump to the right. Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! My brother and I used to collect Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and Pokemon cards. We never played either of the games, just collected the cards. MH Dark Beast, this should earn us a second day of the maid costume, Baja. You can enforce your power on that bottom, LMAO. Hannah likes to say that I have no power over her, and that's not true.
It's true.
I have like the minimum amount of power over her.
Okay. Feels a lot cleaner now, so that's good.
I think I need to retie it.
Maybe.
Yeah, let me retie it. 1 second, chat.
Did Vast Lunacy give more subs?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, Vast Lunacy.
I was told not to tell you how many subs I got.
How many was it?
50.
Wow. I see, chat. I see how it is. You like my wife more than me. That's fair. That's my opinion, too.
I love you.
I love you, too. Thank you.
Chat was telling me about their hobbies.
Yeah. What did they say about your minis? Let me find my...
I don't think anybody really reacted.
Okay. Cat ear. They should be right around here.
They're right here, under your packages.
Thank you. Alright, thanks everyone for being patient. Jesus Christ.
I love you.
Love you too.
Bye, chat.
Okay, let's see what I missed. 38% to level 13. Christ almighty. Vast Lunacy, thanks for 50 subs. Oh my god, we got this month's sub goal. Fuck yeah, with days to spare too. That's great. Thank you, Vast Lunacy. What else? Gnome Pickle said I have gotten my semi-feral kittens to accept cuddles, and last night one of them fell asleep on my lap, so I'm doing amazing. Baha, thanks for asking. I assume she read that. Jitara says, interesting hobbies. Does worshipping the main man Paul count? Sure. MH Darkbeast says, did the stockings the cat stole get recovered for the full maid costume? Also, Hannah, you'll dig this. That is funny. They're somewhere. I have to find the stockings. But you guys don't see them anyway. Old enough to know better now. Thanks for 33 months. Says happy sub goal, Hannah. And we did it. We caught up. Cool. The main outfit's nice and clean. I washed it. So it's a clean maid outfit, chat. My wife washed it. I put it in the garment bag.
Exaggerating about it. So many people are like, you're gonna go instantly blind if you look at the sun. But I knew that I was...
You're not gonna go instantly blind. We know you don't go instantly blind, but you can have effects. It hurts your eyes. Yeah.
Yes, so I did look at the sun as a child, and it was a bright, but not...
And Hans turned out great. It didn't fry his brain at all.
Not...
Why did I have to wash it? Because I sweat in it. Because I sit up here in the upstairs of the house and stream for hours at a time in it. I have not been fucked in this outfit, chat. I cannot express enough to you how much I have not been fucked in this outfit. Odd Tall Man, thanks for gifting a sub.
Not like instant blinding, you can't even look near it bright. Today it's very UV. It just seems like so hot.
Smish says yet.
And white, and like it has a lot more UV in it today. It used to be more like friendly, happy yellow sun. This is just something...
Hans, you're remembering the sun from your childhood differently. It's fine. It's the same sun.
That people have pointed out. One of the easiest ways to point it out is old sun used to be yellow, new sun used to be white. It's the same sun.
The sun, to be clear, the sun has always been white. If you go to space, the sun is white. The sun burns so hot. Of course it's white. But through our atmosphere, it can appear yellow because of, you know, similar reasons to why the sky is blue. Certain colors get filtered out or something. It's not magic, Hans.
People are like getting really wacky with it, saying we have a new sun. It's just that the sun has been gradually changing over time. And I actually think that this is connected with time moving more quickly, because really what time is it has to do with the cycle of the sun. One day is one cycle of the sun, and that's where we
that's a way we measure time, Hans. Yes, but it's not like literally what causes time.
Second is
like if we didn't see the sun for some reason, we would have other ways of, you know, marking time, because you need to for practical purposes. Imagine you say to someone, oh, meet me at that restaurant, but you don't have the concept of time. You just show up at the restaurant randomly? People come up with time systems because you need to.
From that, people
hydrate. Will do.
People think that like a second is always the same length throughout all time, but they forget that it really has to do with the sun.
No, it doesn't. Hans, honey, hun, no.
And breaking that cycle down into equal pieces. And why I think that's connected with the sun being brighter is because it's just like more energy is being pumped into the system. It's like the sun is doing its circuit faster, and it's just glowing hotter and brighter. And so...
like, does he think clocks are magically connected to the sun? Like, does he think if the sun started moving faster, or rather, I should say, if the Earth started, spinning faster, does he think clocks would move faster? Like in Superman? In Superman 2.
To continue the thought
is that the Donner cut? I think in the Donner cut he does it again.
about never look at the sun. I used to look at
Not sure, though.
the sun sometimes, just as a kick, and it didn't make me go instantly blind. I don't wear glasses today. I'm in my mid-30s. I still have perfect vision. And looking at the sun in the past didn't used to be that harmful. I mean, where did sun gazing even come from? There's people that...
Idiots! It came from idiots. What do you mean?
Hopefully they don't do it today. I really don't advise it today because the sun is so bright. But sun gazing as a phenomenon should never have existed ever if looking at the sun instantly made you go blind.
I'd agree. There's a lot of stupid things people shouldn't do that they do. That's fine.
Now, and I will point out another thing. I think that the reason that people talk about it a lot is because you should never, ever, ever look at the sun through, like, binoculars or something. That is a recipe for disaster. So...
So he understands that sunlight, UV, he understands it can be harmful, but for some reason he thinks doing it with your bare eyes is fine. What a weird line to draw.
It's probably one of those things where they tell children to never, ever, ever directly look at the sunlight because in certain scenarios you can...
What if I juggled in the maid outfit? Is that entertaining?
And just, like, blast your retinas to pieces. Like, it would be very... Looking through lenses and then amplifying the sun, that is a mega no-no idea. So that's probably where it comes from, just telling children, never ever look at the sun. But I'm here to tell you that back in the 90s when I grew up, with your naked eye being, as safe as you can looking at the sun, making sure
as safe as you can looking at the sun. The safest way to look at the sun is to not look at the sun.
Not look through crazy amplifiers or anything. It was okay, and it didn't kill you, and it didn't make your retinas die instantly. And the sun was a happy, warm, yellow color. Today, the sun just...
Hans, are you thinking of, like... Is Hans confusing the sun for, like, what a child draws the sun to be like? Because it kind of sounds like he's remembering as a kid, this? Or, like, this? Or, like... Or, like, this? And thinks that's what the sun looks like, because it's a depiction of the sun. Gitara says, the sun seems to be burning brighter and hotter than ever. I wonder if he'd believe us if we told him that the sun goes through periodic cycles whose effects, which usually don't have adverse effects on life on Earth, it only seems worse due to us hotboxing our planet. Hotboxing our planet almost makes, climate change sound great.
It's like a death ball, a white, fiery... It's not a ball, though, it's a disc. And maybe that's part of why they didn't want people looking at it, because if you look at the sun, you can tell it's a disc, not a ball.
Hans, when you view a sphere from the side, if it's of uniform if it's of uniform visual, like, color and everything, this isn't a great example because it's obviously got different colors and it's not a perfect sphere and you're not looking at it straight on. But from the side, a sphere looks like a disc by definition. Like, that's a sphere. When you're looking at it from one angle, looks like a disc, but you can move around it and see that it's a sphere. Jesus Christ, Hans, read Flatland.
Anyways,
I feel like this is the second time I've brought up Flatland recently for some reason. Hydrate.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 26. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be
I think I'm actually a terrible preschool teacher right now. I would be fired immediately, and rightfully so.
sevenfold, as the light of 7 days, and the day that the Lord bindeth up the breach of his people, and healeth the stroke of their wound. This is talking about end times. You can go read the chapter if you want more context, but I just always come back to this verse whenever talking about, oh, the moon is brighter than it used to be, the sun is brighter than it used to be. Show people, hey, this comes from the Bible, and it's end times prophecy in the Bible, and look, it's happening today.
G-Tara with 50 bits says, fired, but you're wearing religious garments.
And,
you know, the Church of Paul has not actually been, recognized by the United States government, so...
There's more end times prophecy about the sun and the moon turning to blood. Has anyone else noticed? It seems like the blood moons have been very, very frequent.
It's Ganon.
These days.
I know, I'm working on it.
And it talks about the sun going dark, and I think that that is connected to more energy being pumped into the system. The sun is a light. It's going to be like a light bulb that just bursts, like the filament just bursts one day because it's...
Do you know why filament bursts? Do you know what the sun is? The sun is a mass of incandescent gas, something nuclear furnace. They might be giants. The sun is a nuclear reactor, basically. It's a nuclear reaction that's happening. Eventually, we understand the life cycle of stars. Eventually, it'll start to die out. It'll turn into a red giant and a brown dwarf and whatever. Eventually, like, do whatever it does, it'll fucking die. It's not big enough to collapse into a black hole, at least our sun. So, we know how stars work. It's not a light bulb. Gregory Term says the sun is a deadly laser.
Had too much power put into it, and that's going to be like when the sun goes dark.
It's interesting that he's like it's like talking to a caveman almost. Like his only idea light bulbs are light, sun is light. Sunlight bulb? And like, hey, if he was an ancient Greek philosopher, good shit, but he's not. These questions have been asked and answered.
And
Gregory Term with 50 bits.
Hey, can we go on land? No. Why? The sun is a deadly laser. Oh, okay.
Anyways. So for the rest of this video, I'm just going to go over some examples of ways that I have noticed the sky, or specifically related to the sun, being different. Halos. Sun halos are very, very common these days if they're spraying all over the sky. You know what I'm talking about. And I remember the first time I saw this was...
Hans, it's due to atmospheric conditions.
In the mid-2000s. So during my entire childhood...
Maybe you also have astigmatism.
I never saw...
He said he has good vision. He's probably gotten his eyes checked. Or he's just saying that. I probably shouldn't trust the conspiracy theorist.
...on halo, ever. Until about the same time that they started spraying the skies. And so about the same exact time that I started noticing the chemtrails... And the first time that I saw one of those silvery haze days where the whole sky is just covered in this silver haze.
Overcast? We have a word for that. It's called overcast. There's a word for it because it's a natural phenomena that is not new.
That was the first time I saw a halo. And it's probably supposed to be a very, very rare phenomenon in the sky.
Meatball Spaghetti says the real sun. Oh no! I don't like the baby sun. I don't like the baby sun. It's a different baby in the new Teletubbies. So, like, in the Teletubbies universe, did the old sun grow up? Or die? And a new baby son was born? I'm not up on my Teletubbies lore.
But it's not rare.
Gotta get me some of that fucking tubby custard. That shit's lit.
anymore. It's very common. The moon is so bright that the moon casts its own halos today. If they've been
Dr. Gamble with 50 bits.
spraying a bunch, and there you go. They just blame everything on crystals, ice crystals. Really, a lot of these phenomenon have to do with the firmament. Sundogs, it has to do with the firmament. And I think that the reason, so this is just a personal theory, I think the reason that sundogs, correct me if I'm wrong, I think a lot of phenomenon happen more in the north. And in my personal opinion, the north is closer to the edge of the ice wall.
That's not even how it works on most flat Earth maps. Normally, in the flat Earth maps that are used by most flat Earthers, the further north you get in the northern hemisphere, the further away you get from the ice wall, and the southern hemisphere is closer to the ice wall. So he not only believes in the flat Earth, but he's like a edgy flat Earther that thinks it's the reverse of what most do, unless he's just misspeaking. H. Baird says, according to Jerry Falwell, it's Tinky Winky's fault we're all gay. Thank you, Tinky Winky. Stone Corbell says, correct you if you're wrong. Do you really want people to take you up on that, Hans? There are a bunch of recipes for tubby custard. Here's one that looks somewhat good. Let me see the picture. I gotta see the picture. Is there a picture of the tubby custard? Tubby custard sounds like a slur. I don't know why. It just does. I feel uncomfortable saying it. I do not like tubby custard. Ew, look at that. That looks awful.
And even though most flat Earth maps, they do it backwards, but look at most flat Earth maps, it doesn't make sense how the massive lands in the north all get crunched into the center of the map. That doesn't work. But anyways, my personal theory is that some of these phenomena...
Man, it's almost like maps are projections and not an accurate state of affairs, because it's impossible to depict a 3D object in 2D 100% accurately, kind of by definition.
Happen more frequently in the north because it's near the edge of the ice wall, so you get different optical properties at the edge. But my belief is that it has to do with the firmament. A lot of these phenomenon. These days, I don't have a picture of it, but these days I see a lot of people mentioning rainbows in the clouds. And so I don't know. I also have this other theory that maybe the firmament is coming down because New Jerusalem comes down from heaven. So some things, I'm not sure if it's because the sun is brighter. Is that why we see rainbows and clouds fairly frequently? Is it because they're spraying, so there's more metallic material in the clouds? Is it because, I don't know. All I know is that it's different today, and there might be...
I wonder if Hans lives in the same place he lived as a kid, or if he lives in a different part of the country that has different, like... a different climate, and it really is like a different thing for him, but he doesn't understand that different places in the country have different weather. You know what I mean? And different atmospheric conditions. He thinks it's all exactly the same, so maybe now he lives in a place that has a higher humidity, so he's seeing more things like rainbows more often, because it's raining more often, maybe, or just a higher concentration of, water particles in the air. Water vapor, whatever.
Multiple reasons. Sometimes there's multiple reasons for things. Best time...
Are clouds woke? Become a woke, Clued. Clued, become woke, Clued.
To see the northern lights in Oregon. This is not normal. Have you guys noticed that the northern lights have been creeping southward? Does this... is this related to the sun being more bright? Or
the northern lights, they're on the move.
Or does this go into the other theory I have about the firmament being lower might also make northern lights creep in? Double rainbows. Here's just another one. I'm not entirely sure. Is it just because the sun is brighter? Is it multiple things at once because the sun is brighter and other things happening? But I personally...
Does he think double rainbows are new?
Believe that double rainbows did not used to be as frequent, as common as they are today.
What solid numbers do you have, Hans, on the frequency of double rainbows? Do you have any number? You're just saying it. Like, do you have a study that showed, like, here's the number of purported cases, purported sightings of double rainbows, and then you're also going to have to factor in things like, are as many people out in nature? Are as many people, are the conditions different in the climate? Like, what are you talking about, Hans? You can't just say things. That's not how science works on the bingo card. As well as chemtrails, for him talking about chemtrails earlier. Dr. Gamble says double rainbow all the way across the sky. Was he on mushrooms or acid or ecstasy or something? Or peyote? He seemed high in that video. The famous viral video we're all thinking of.
Okay. And it's like, ever since that double rainbow video went viral, they seem very common today. That's just my personal opinion. That I don't remember growing up with double rainbows being very common. Or
I don't remember seeing any rainbows as a kid, Hans. Does that mean rainbows aren't real?
Even
I didn't go outside as a child.
knowing what a
I had a GameCube.
double rainbow
And a VCR.
was.
And very pale skin.
And yes, some of this could be attributed to, well, once you learn about something, then you're going to see it more frequently. But I don't think that's what's happening here entirely. Have you guys noticed that it seems very easy for there to be...
I think I've seen maybe 1 or 2 double rainbows in my whole life in person. I've definitely seen more on the internet, because it's the internet and you can look for 1,000 examples of anything you want at any time. Think of a thing! Lobster in a top hat. Lobster in a top hat. Oh, look at 1,000 examples of a lobster in a fucking top hat. Oh my god. If it was 1985, do you know how hard it would be to find a picture of a lobster in a fucking top hat? You just don't get it. You just think that in your head and you go, that'd be funny if I could see that. And then you don't get to see it.
double rainbows today. And so this is just one more thing that I think could be related to the sun being brighter and possibly the firmament being lower. I don't know. I have noticed that the allergies are a lot crazier, it seems, these days. I don't know if that's related, but also vertigo. People seem to have a lot of vertigo type illness today, and like the changing, when the weather changes, I feel it so badly now. Like I can just feel it in my head sometimes, like, oh man, the weather's changing. And I don't...
People have that. People have sensitivities to things. You hear this, some older people, or people who have had injuries, sometimes get things in their joints or different things in their body because they can feel the barometric pressure change. They might not know that's what it is necessarily, but like, that happens. Like, your body is affected by changes around you. So you're getting older, Hans. You're getting older and stuff like that'll happen. It's not a conspiracy. You're experiencing linear time as a human being.
Remember it being like that. I don't know how much of that is just because I'm older, but I'm just...
All of it. All of it.
This is a ramble video. I'm throwing all this information out there just because some of you might connect with it. So, the reason I have this photo is because something that I think is very different now is when the sun dips behind a cloud. So much more so today, what it feels like outside is dependent on, are you in direct sunlight or not? And I don't think it used to be so extreme. So let me just give you an example. Today, you'll be so chilly that you need a jacket, and then the sun pops out from behind a cloud and you feel like you're gonna sweat in a minute.
Hey DJ Shannon K, welcome.
It's so extreme and so dependent on, are you in direct sunlight or not? Have you guys noticed that?
Hans, that's always the case. That's always the case. I don't know the state. I know the ozone layer has been repairing itself since the 90s because we banned the chemicals that were causing the hole in the ozone layer problem, which is good. But I don't know if maybe that could be a factor for you. Don't know if you live in a different area where where the humidity is just different and you're used to weather being different and temperature feeling different. I don't know. It's not a conspiracy though, Hans. It's not a conspiracy.
But it seems more extreme, and I don't remember it being like that in times past. Sure, you would notice it if the sun was behind a cloud or not, but it wasn't such extreme differences. The sun goes behind a cloud and I'm like shivering instantly. The sun pops back out and I'm taking my clothes off trying to get a tan, and it's March. Blinded by the light, car accidents. I never used to wear sunglasses, ever. I never used to wear sunglasses. I hated wearing sunglasses, but today, I cannot, it's dangerous to drive without sunglasses for sunrise and sunset today.
Hans? This is gonna sound so stupid. Do you have to go to work now and drive home, and is your home and work respectively in the direction of the sunrise and the sunset? Because you might just be noticing it more because you're going to and leaving work at the exact times the sun is rising and setting. And I'm afraid that that's what's going on, and he just doesn't have the self-awareness to understand that that's what's happening. Moira Soma says, you're just getting old, Hans. If we're just doing anecdotes, I'll say this. When I was younger, when I was still a teen, when I was 16, 17, 18, I had a car and I would drive to school in the early morning because I lived 40 minutes away from the school, 30 minutes away from the school by driving, depending on the weather. And the direction of the school was the east. The sun was rising, of course, at this time of the day. And I did have to wear sunglasses because the sun is bright. Gnome Pickles says, Hans, I noticed that too. You know what I found had happened? My eyes were a bit worse now because I got a bit older, and from your statement you're about the same age as me, which is bonkers to me because you talk like a man ripped from the past.
And, I mean, just any time during the day, it's so bright. And I think that's just, the sun is, like Isaiah prophecy, the sun is becoming very bright. It's foretold that that's going to happen in end times. And I think that it is happening. And I think that that's the reason for all the chemtrails and stuff, because they want to keep a lot of times you'll see them spraying in the morning and at sunset. And I think that a lot of it is to help with this. It is very dangerous, the glare in the morning for drivers. Have you guys noticed that? How different it is now?
It's not different!
I used to be able to drive without sunglasses at all times of the day. And the reason being, so let me get to the point, why is the glare so bad in the morning? The sun used to get not as bright when it was on the horizon. And it still does today, but the sun is so bright that now when the sun is on the horizon, it's very, very bright on the horizon. And it didn't used to be like that. The sun used to be so much softer, red almost, right? Aren't sunsets supposed to be red?
It depends upon the atmospheric conditions. The red is caused by it being refracted through more layers of the atmosphere as it gets closer to the horizon.
But now the sun is just white hot all day. At sunrise it's white hot, and it's just always white hot. It doesn't start out red and soft. So, I mean, to bring it back to the beginning of this video, talking about sun gazing and all that,
Is he literally saying the future's so bright I gotta wear shades? God damn it.
was
Yes, he is.
always easier to look at the sun directly at sunset and sunrise, right? People watch the sunset, people watch the sunrise. And today, even at sunset and
I watched My Stepmother is an Alien the other day, and they made a reference to the future's so bright I gotta wear shades. That has nothing to do with anything, but my brain made me say that out loud because I was thinking about it and I couldn't stop thinking about it until I said it.
the sun is so bright still, and that's why this driving thing is a thing. Okay, I've talked enough about these.
Oh, God damn it.
I mean, the main point of this is the reason that they chemtrail everything.
There's no such thing as chemtrails. Chemtrails aren't real. The funny thing is, too, look on the pictures. The sources for these pictures are literally articles from New Scientist and the BBC that explain why they're not chemtrails. Hans could literally click on these links, and they would take him to a page that would explain all of this.
Is because the sun is so much brighter than it used to be. The weather would probably be going totally insane, and it would be even more obvious that the sun is brighter if they weren't spraying all the time. It probably would just instantly be summer, and our summers would probably be, like, I don't know, even more intense somehow. I think that's why they're doing all the spraying. To try to undo the sun being hotter than it used to be. They're trying to not let people notice, I guess. And obviously, a lot of agriculture and stuff probably depends on them modifying the weather. Otherwise,
Weather control on the bingo card.
stuff would just burn up, I guess. So,
The Dan Aykroyd film that's a deep cut. I didn't talk about Nothing But Trouble.
so I'll just talk about one. I don't
I
have
also watched Army of Darkness today. Good movie.
a photo of it, but where I live, they have this Saturday market thing. And when it starts getting hotter, I've noticed that there will be wavy, splotchy clouds that don't look like...
Okay, is he just gonna talk about fucking clouds for the rest of this?
But anyways, so this year I saw a few poppies, but
Okay, I think we got enough of Hans. We get the gist. Let's take a look at the bingo card real quick. Bingo call sheet. It's always nice, you know? I don't know if you guys know this, but, like, takes a lot of energy being on camera for hours at a time, so the little bit of respite when you just hear my voice, it's great. Don't have to worry about you looking at me. Oh, what do we got? Hannah mentions Hot Pockets cheese. Only reputable source is the Bible. Chemtrails, of course. Aliens for the Gina thing. And I know we had someone doesn't understand how cameras work. Hans talking about the firmament, so flat Earth. And weather control. I think that's maybe it. Taking another look at everything. Doop-a-da-ba-da-ba. Oh, that's not how science works. That's not how science works. We did it. H. Baird with the cleanse, which I will... Oh, I've seen this. Nice. I like this channel. I've actually seen this channel before. We watched a few things from it. Party in the USSR. Is there a reason they assume the firmament is dome-shaped? That's how it was traditionally depicted. So that's why.
Just look at
Why was it traditionally depicted like that? I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. Ghost Lady is back. She hadn't posted in a month. I was growing a little worried about Ghost Lady, but she's good and looking for more ghosts.
I just looked out the window to see if there's any spirits out there. They're on my dogs. There it is. Okay, James, if that's you, get
Because the horizon is a circle. Okay.
up on the blue sofa. James, come on. Get on the blue sofa, please. I know you like my dogs. James, can you get on the sofa, please, and sit there, please? Maybe this one isn't James.
James looks cute in the dress.
Probably sitting over there on my side boy again. Girls, it's okay. There he is.
Every time there's a little beep and like a little stick figure, she thinks that's a ghost. She thinks there are ghosts in her apartment and that she can see them with this app.
There for some reason. So, James, if this is you for the spirit, can you come over here and sit on this blue double wide chair?
I'd call that a love seat.
They're hiding. James, come and sit over here next to Audrey. James? Show yourself over here if it's you.
It's always funny to me when they like give an ultimatum like that, like if this is you, do this, but then they ask multiple times. Isn't the point that it's falsifiable? If you get a null response, then they're not, right? We just keep asking.
It doesn't. It's
Then you're just waiting for your results to be confirmed. You're not actually testing anything.
not James, it's someone else. It's a dog hut.
She's
dogs are
doming the
spoiled
fuck out
rotten.
of that ghost. He's been a bad ghost. A very bad ghost.
Okay, let's see if he's over here yet. He's right behind me. Spirit, show yourself. Show yourself. This is Sophia Bierman, psychic medium. Show yourself. Oh, right there. Oh, it's behind me. Stop hiding. What did I tell you? You get down in size. Don't try to intimidate me. I don't intimidate. Remember, I deal with the dead. Come on,
The
show
safe
yourself
word is bustin'.
again. All I want you to do is get down to size. Are you outside now? Probably went through the glass.
Can ghosts go outside? I've been led to believe that ghosts are not allowed outside by the very factual film Beetlejuice.
Sorry, you can see my t-shirt.
Also a ghost story. Trying to think of other movies with that rule. I've seen ghost things. Ghosts can't leave the house. They get sent to Pluto or Saturn. Saturn? Saturn. It's Saturn in Beetlejuice, right?
T-shirt with the lips on it. Okay, where are you? Show yourself.
What movie was that? I said Ghost Story. If you haven't seen Ghost Story, non sequitur, apologies. Ghost Story is an A24 film, and it's excellent. Casey Affleck is in it. Rooney Mara is in it. This is the ghost in the movie. It's awesome. Please check it out. It's one of my favorite movies. It's in my top 20, probably. It's good. Please watch. American Horror Story. Good example. Good example. Poltergeist. Though those are poltergeists, I guess, not ghosts. They explicitly say the house is not haunted. It's a poltergeist.
Spirit.
That's an actual ghost? Yes. It's not a horror movie, to be clear. A ghost story is a story where the ghost is the main character. And it's sort of a character... How do I describe ghost story? It's a very slow-paced drama about loss and coming to resolution on loss and Just watch it. Just watch the movie. It's good. You'll like it.
Show yourself. Went out the door through the glass.
I didn't like Ghostbusters 2016. I don't really care to talk about it because the entire conversation, unfortunately, is like ruined by chuds. But I just didn't think the 2016 Ghostbusters was funny. Like it was too much bad improv. But it's whatever. It's inoffensive to me. It doesn't bother me. It's just a bad movie. It's whatever. This one is the only ghost story you know.
Hello, sinner. God, can you go
I've actually seen the first episode of the American dub of this.
bomb an abortion clinic or something? You just wait. When that wonderful president finishes stacking the Supreme Court, we won't have to. Don't forget what I told you about premarital sex. Hello.
Ghost Story is a funny anime, to be clear. Ghost Story is funny. The American dub, which changed a lot. From what I've heard, it's a pretty mediocre anime in the original Japanese, but the American dub was allowed to kind of do whatever they wanted, and they made it very funny, so.
That's how they travel. I know they travel. I can show you guys that. I just did. Gone. It was hanging
Ignore the fact that I just discussed an anime qualitatively, please.
on a curtain.
That clashes violently with my online persona.
Boom. Out the glass door it went. Glass door was shut.
Ghost lady. She likes to dom those ghosts.
Spirit, I can see you over there. Show yourself. Spirit. Show yourself. Show yourself. Spirit, show yourself.
Do ghosts have kinks? Their BDSM involves a lot of holy water and crucifixes, and an old priest and a young priest.
Spirit. Oh, there you are. Show yourself. You hiding over here? Where are you hiding? Come on out.
No, Pickle says the safe word is Father Karras. Pazuzu.
Come on over here. Here, come on over here. You want to sit on the sofa?
So that thing you said my mother does in hell, you do that too, or?
Do you want to sit on that blue sofa?
Those are all my exorcist jokes. I'm tapped. I'm tapped.
I thought that's where you were, by the bedroom door.
In fairness, I think at least one of those was an Exorcist 2 joke, so.
Oh. You don't have to hide. Oh, there's the big guy. Remember, you can't get bigger than me, okay? You guys know that. That's the rules. No one's sitting on the sofa yet.
I like this lady. She's not hurting anyone. She's fucking crazy. She's fucking crazy, but like, she's not hurting anyone. Be crazy.
It's
Do
okay,
your
babe.
crazy bullshit, lady. I'll fucking hunt ghosts with this lady. If I go over to this lady's house and she's like, holy shit, have you seen this app I have? Have you seen this app? I can find ghosts. I'd be like, you can what? I wouldn't believe her, of course. There's no such thing as ghosts. But you don't think I'm gonna go ghost hunting with a fucking crazy person? Oh my god. Blatty considers the 9th configuration a proper sequel to The Exorcist.
Crazy.
I haven't seen the 9th configuration. I'll say I don't think The Exorcist 2 is as bad as people say. It's not great. but it's fine. And Exorcist 3 has Brad Dourif, so enough said. Mike Max with a link. Oh god, what's this? Scary movie too. Okay.
Fuck this.
Forgot Andy Richter was the young priest in Scary Movie 2. Where did the video go? I know we watched it somewhere. It's around here. Where did it go? There, no one. There it is. We were done with it though. I remember. Okay. What's next? Oh, Dr. Gamble says, Ghost Hunters enters house. Ghost. Oh god, not these guys again. Okay, everyone, just like we practiced, get your designated hiding places and stay there for the next 6 hours. Dr. Gamble with a link.
Alright. You monitor free meth levels. I'll check for freezing temps.
Okay. I'm gonna turn on some lights.
I'm gonna set the tripod in the kitchen. Temperature seems a little low in the hallway there.
Getting an EMF reading of 2 in the living room. No, wait. It's 3.
Leaving some equipment on the table.
Oh my god.
What?
I hear footsteps.
Where?
Crap, he's definitely in this area.
We got handprints. There's handprints on the window.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of freaked out here, man. Can we just go back to the van? Carol Thomas! Give us a sign! Carol Thomas, Carol Thomas, Carol Thomas!
Come on out, you little wimp. What, are you scared or something?
1933, In 1933, 33rd degree Freemason
Freemasons on the bingo card.
Franklin D. Roosevelt added the Great Seal to the U.S. dollar.
Is Franklin D. Roosevelt Freemason? Franklin D. Roosevelt free. Oops. Let's see. He's only a 32nd degree Freemason. He didn't make it to 33rd degree. So, wrong. That's fun.
Transforming it into an occult...
So close. You become the president, but they don't make you the highest level of Freemason. Ridiculous.
Talisman. The same year, he signed a gold confiscation order and took the U.S. off the gold standard. At a press conference on March 8th, 1933, he joked,
"Oh, that can be rounding error numerology.
As long as nobody asks me whether we are off the gold standard, that's alright, because nobody knows what the gold standard really is." David Icke wrote, "The 33rd degree Freemason and Black nobility president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, had this symbol printed on the dollar bill from 1933. It was a symbol of secret societies in Europe, long before anyone heard of the United States.
The all-seeing eye represents God.
And it is awash with Freemasonic and secret society symbolism going back to the ancient world. Notice the symbology and numerology used on the dollar bill. The most obvious symbol is the Illuminati pyramid, with the hovering
The Illuminati aren't real!
Seeing eye in the capstone. Opposite this is the All-American Eagle, with a downturned U.S. flag affront its chest. These and many other symbols on the dollar come from the ancient stellar, solar, and lunar cults. Michael Tessarian wrote, "The pyramid is for the stellar cult, as are the various stars that appear on the bill. The golden eagle is for the solar cult. The eagle is the symbol of America."
I was gonna say, the eagle is because it's the American bird. What are you talking about?
Because
I'm with Ben Franklin on this one, by the way. It should have been a turkey.
Signifies the constellation in Scorpio called Achaea. Scorpio is the sign of power, money, and wealth, as well as secret knowledge. The U.S. elections are held right in the middle of Scorpio, and the birthday of America is in the scorpionic decanate of Cancer.
None of that meant anything. Don't bring astrology into this. I don't have the energy to make fun of that.
The color green also relates to the solar cult. The number 13, which appears frequently on the dollar bill,
yeah, because of the original 13 colonies. Do you know any U.S. history? Jesus Christ.
Stands for the lunar cult. There are 13 months in the lunar year. America originally had 13 states. London is made up of 28 boroughs, this being the number of lunar mansions. 13 is also a stellar cult numeral, much used
This is numerology, all of this. And spurious symbology is evidence. This is all of it. Dr. Gamble says, "You're wrong, Hannah. The all-seeing eye clearly represents a chaos dream demon in a top hat called Bill." It's a good show. Profane Priestess says, "The Illuminati was real and they were based. I know they were real, they're not real now. They advocated for secular government and abortion access by tricking rich people into paying for bullshit occult nonsense."
The Israelites and other Semitic tribes and nations. Then there are the watermarks, or moon letters, for the lunar cults. The double-headed eagle symbol, which came from Babylon and survived through the...
Did it! Is that even true? Double-headed eagle. Byzantine heraldry and vexology. Okay, there you go. It's Byzantine. Originating in the Bronze Age, heraldic charge, Byzantine Empire. Okay.
The Scottish...
So no, not Babylon.
...of Freemasonry has been today adopted by America, Mexico, Israel, Germany, France, Chile, Italy, Honduras, and many others. David Icke wrote, "The eagle is a wide..."
David Icke sucks. David Icke's an anti-Semitic shit, and he got laughed at on live TV for being an idiot. Rightfully so.
...widely used brotherhood symbol.
Do we need to watch David Icke get laughed on TV?
My friends, our next guest was a goalkeeper for Hereford United Football Club and Coventry City. He had to give up his sporting career because of incipient arthritis. After that, he was elevated to the lofty ivory tower of BBC Sports as a commentator. He was then cast to the ground again when he joined the Green Party in Britain and became their spokesman on various affairs. Now he's upwardly mobile and with a vengeance. He's written a book called The Truth Vibrations, in which
Franklin said eagles are scavengers, thieves, and cowards. Maybe... maybe it is appropriate then.
He says, amongst other things, that the world, the planet as we know it, is destined to be destroyed in the near future unless we, all of us, all the peoples of the planet, change their ways and get into line with the natural environment.
David Icke is the guy who really popularized the reptilian stuff, by the way. Like the whole reptilians as a dog whistle for anti-Semitism. David Icke's the guy that made that big in the popular consciousness and amongst conspiracy theorists today.
And start...
Like, even if you don't know it came from David Icke, and I'm sure most people probably don't, who believe this shit, it came from David Icke and his books and stuff.
Protecting the world and start protecting the environment and the planet. Otherwise, things are coming to a crunch. Inter alia, he also claims to be the Son of God. He claims to be the Son of God. How you're going to react to this, I do not know. But would you welcome, please, David Icke. David, hello. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. You do claim to be the Son of God, David?
Yeah, let's get it right. We're all the children of God. We're all created by God. We're created by the thoughts of God. When we think, we create an energy field. When we think thoughts of love, forgiveness, and peace, and all the things we want to bring to the world, we create a certain kind of very positive energy. When we think thoughts of hate, of all these other emotions, of anger, of fear, we create another kind of energy, a very destructive one.
I really don't understand. It seems like when a lot of conspiracy theorists say energy, they imagine some sort of electromagnetic magic, like radiating out of them. Do they understand they're just describing magic? It's like they're medieval peasants who don't understand how the body works. Like, what do they mean, energy? Energy is the potential to do work. There are different kinds of energy. What do you mean when you say you're radiating energy? Radiating what, where, how, what? You can't just say things.
Which, if it's in big enough quantities, destroys the very life force of creation.
What does any of that mean? What does the life force of creation mean? In specific, objective terms, what does that mean? Because it kind of just sounds like you're vibing. Like, this is something you thought of on mushrooms, and you really got stuck in your head, but you didn't think about it because it was all emotional. It was all just, like, crazy nonsense high brain bullshit. Please get back in touch with reality. It misses you.
Which comes from...
word salad on the bingo card.
The being some call God. The name I'm given is the Godhead. Now, if we can create by thought, what can the Godhead do? This master spirit at the center of all creation. He can create almost anything he wishes by thought, and he creates us by thought.
But do you claim to be the Son of God? Because Terry Wogan said to you on the Wogan Show, you claim to be the Son of God, and you said yes.
Well, I am, yes, I'm saying that. But what I'm saying is we're all the children of God. But some people come to earth.
I appreciate that it almost looks like his name is David Ick.
This was one, there were many more before him, who are actually part of the soul of the Godhead. It's God incarnate on earth. That's what Jesus was. That's what these other people were before. To try to bring the truth to a planet that has lost that truth.
Do you think you're a reincarnation of Jesus, David Icke?
Truth for 12,000 years, and as a result of which we have taken this wondrous planet to the brink of not existing.
Jesus said, I and the Father are one. Mm-hmm. That means he was the Son of God. Are you claiming that too? You and the Father are one?
We're all one with the Father.
No.
Oh, yes, we are. We're all one with the Father. What I'm saying is that if I, as Jesus was, and others were before him, an aspect, part of the soul of the Godhead, then these beings are the Godhead incarnate.
Then we are all sons of God and children of God in that way.
Well,
but are you special?
No one's special.
But have you been singled out?
The message that comes across all the time is the Godhead loves all of us as if there was only one of us. No one is special. But there are certain people who come to Earth at certain times, and to other planets too, at times of great crisis, to try to help to sort things out. And
I think the best indicator that he could be Jesus reincarnated is the suit. I think Jesus would wear this.
And they are just...
I feel like he probably got sick of wearing, like, tan robes, you know? I imagine Jesus dressed like a Jedi. I don't know why. Probably Ewan McGregor's fault.
Godhead in a physical...
Aldera says no one is special except for all the special people. Something syndrome from Incredibles quote.
Body. This great transformation of Earth that's already beginning to... It's already underway. Is being guided not by yours truly alone, but by the whole of creation. Because if this planet is destroyed, the whole of creation is thrown into chaos. Because, planets and stars are not there because the Godhead fancies it. Wouldn't it be pretty? Everything is there. It has a purpose. It has a meaning. It has a reason for existing. And if one of the planets or whatever ceases to exist because of the way we treat it, then the whole of creation is threatened. And my goodness me, I'll tell you this, it is threatened very much at this time. It is
Jesus basically said, like, hey, be excellent to each other, party on, dudes. That was like the stuff that, like, mattered. I feel like maybe if you had a more concise message, maybe a little more positive, that might help. Fit on like a bumper sticker or something. Like, be cool. You might have a little more success.
Matter of years if we continue to turn out.
Jesus did whip. In fairness, money changers. Money changers. Don't know if they were bankers, but it was commerce. Jesus whipping people doing commerce.
This energy of hate, of anger, and fear, and all these other emotions that we
Quite
have.
specifically, he was whipping people who were making money off of religion and defiling the temple by selling animals within it for sacrifice.
Made into an art form on earth.
Anyway, Jesus used a whip, which is like probably the closest thing he has in common with Indiana Jones.
And it can be found on the coats
Also the beards.
of arms of many countries, including Egypt, Libya, and Iraq. It was a major symbol for Germany, and it appears in the designs of pulpits and lecterns used by the Christian Church. Seals like the one used on the Great Seal of the United States can be traced back to at least...
For some reason in my head I remember him being laughed at in that. I think I had a Mandela effect. And by that I mean I must have fucked that up in my head. I must be conflating it with some other clip. Either way, that's the guy he was citing. David Icke is a goddamn crazy person.
4000 BC in Egypt, Babylon, Assyria, and India. The word money comes from the lunar cults. Early
money etymology. It comes from Latin moneta, which means mint or money. Originally a title of the goddess Juno, in whose temple in Rome money was minted. Is Juno the goddess of the moon? Question mark? No, not the... No? Okay. He's wrong then. Then he's wrong. Incorrect etymology as evidence on the bingo card. Let me just Control F this to make sure. Moon? Ancient etymologies associate Juno's name with Euver to aid, benefit, and rejuvenate, sometimes connecting to the renewal of the new and waxing moon, perhaps to imply the idea of a moon goddess. Let me see what else it says in the page, because this might count. Waning and waxing the moon, delivery of the birth, labors of the new moon. The view that she was also a moon goddess, though, is no longer accepted by scholars. Ah, okay. Her association with the moon, she governed the feminine physiological functions, menstrual cycle, and pregnancy, as well as lunar deities are deities of childbirth. These aspects of Juno mark the heavenly and worldly sides of her function. This is interesting, because he's not just making it up, he's basing it off outdated research, it seems like. Well, the space doesn't say why it's incorrect, it just says incorrect. Incorrect etymology is evidence. Sure.
Words for the moon were mon and min, giving us money, printed at a mint. We have a worldwide monarchy that controls the world's money supply. We have finance ministers, prime ministers, and their ministries being controlled by occult elites and societies.
And Minnie Mouse.
Monks
another one.
Perform monthly ceremonies in monasteries. It is interesting to note that the plant mint is green. Our money, printed at the mint, is green. And the ice...
I'm pretty sure that's just a coincidence. I don't think those are related. A lot of plants are green. Because chlorophyll.
This moon goddess, Statue of Liberty, is also green.
The Statue of Liberty, in fairness, was not always green. That is a patina that developed over time. It was intentional, however. They knew that was going to happen, so.
Someone who is ignorant is green. Moon...
Ignorant. That's interesting. Someone who's ignorant is green? Oh, I guess I've heard that before. I typically think of green as associated with jealousy, but I've heard people who are inexperienced be referred to as green before. His general statement is bullshit that he's trying to say all these things are intentionally connected, but I get what he's saying.
Moon lovers are lunatics. From the French, they are monsters. You can see how the elite esoterically worship the moon, continuing the lunar cult,
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
while exoterically condemning and marginalizing it. Jordan Maxwell wrote, "You will see beneath the pyramid."
H. Baird says the mint in the U.S. makes coins. Paper money is made at the Bureau of Printing and Engraving in Washington, D.C. Oh, I actually didn't know that. That's interesting. That makes sense that they're made separately. Just not something I thought of.
1776, spelled out in Roman numerals, plus the words Annuit Coeptus, and is translated as Annuit, our enterprise. Coeptus is translated to mean crowned with success, or is crowned with success. Therefore, Annuit Coeptus is our enterprise, which is now a success. Then, in order to find out what enterprise was a success, read on the $1 bill at the bottom of the pyramid, Novos Ordo Seclorum, which
that's not out of many come one. Out of chaos order?
translates as the new order of the world, the new world order. The Latin translation of Annuit Coeptus Novos Ordo Seclorum is our new world order is crowned with success. The other Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, means one out of many, order out of chaos. The Hegelian dialectic, the problem-reaction-solution paradigm used by the elites to drive world events, opinions, and policies.
It's like this guy played Assassin's Creed and was like, yep, that's all real.
There are 13 letters in Annuit Coeptus, and 13 letters in e pluribus unum. The dollar encodes the number 13 repeatedly. There are 13 stars above the eagle's head, 13 steps.
Again, 13 is a reference to the original 13 colonies.
On the pyramid, 13 vertical bars on the shield, 13 horizontal stripes at the top of the shield.
Lenin Cat says, interesting fact, most printers and scanners will refuse to copy money. I actually knew that.
13 leaves on the olive branch, 13 arrows, 13 fruits, and 13 numbers. If you draw a 6-sided Star of David hexagram around the pyramid on the back of the dollar, 5 of the 6 corners will point to letters ASMON, or
which anti-Semitism on the bingo card? He's saying Star of David. Covert anti-Semitism. He didn't outright say, like, this is this.
when you rearrange them, MASON. Jordan Maxwell wrote, "You will find on the dollar bill the eagle, which comes from the ancient concept of the phoenix, and has 13 stars above it. The 13 stars are..."
Okay, alright, overt. That's definitely overt. This is overt anti-Semitism on the bingo card.
arranged in the configuration of the Star of David, or the hexagram.
H. Baird says, all the talk of 13 reminds me of this.
Hey, thanks for picking
Damn, there are so many clips in this episode I'm gonna have to remove.
me up, man. Yeah, no problem. I've been driving for like 15 hours straight, so I could use the company. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been standing in the same spot for 5.5.
Too much. I can't play however long this is. I'm gonna have to take it out. Sorry.
Most people think the 13 stars represent the original 13 colonies. In the first place, why did they have to have 13 colonies?
Why did they have to? They didn't have to. I'd imagine they all grew out of separate initial settlements, is my guess. Is that, again, that's completely uninformed. But I think I'm smarter than this guy, so I could probably suss out. There are probably different little communities that started in different areas people landed. And those grew out and, you know, were their own governments, or at least, you know, they're, of course, colonies of England, but, you know, they're their own self-governing entities as much as a colony is, and those separately grew up into states.
they have 27 or 4.
Like, they didn't just get there all at once and, like, go, all right, everyone's spread out now and we'll arbitrarily decide. There were, like, different groups that went different places and whatever.
Or 10. When one understands that the number 13 is a very important, profound Masonic number.
What
and
number
that
don't
many
you
of the
think is
founding
profound?
fathers of this country were Freemasons, as well as Rosicrucians, then you will follow this connecting thread of material to see what was actually being created. They knew what they were doing when they divided this country into 13 colonies. The number 13 is not an unlucky number.
Did they fuck up then when they started adding other states? Was that a fuck up? They're like, oh fuck, we're gonna expand now. Shit, we should have started with fewer so we could build up to 13. We really fucked up, guys.
For them. It's an unlucky number for you.
And then they had another attempt. Like, they could have stopped at 33, but they just kept going. Didn't learn their lesson.
There is also...
Oh god, those are long ones.
There is currently a systematic destruction and takedown of the evil that has existed for so long, and a lot of this is happening from the military, the white hats, and many other countries that are working together to take these guys down. You may have heard of the banking elite, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Federal Reserve, the IMF, all these guys, the World Economic Forum. There are many invisible hands that have been colluding to have control over this entire world for a very long time, but this is coming to an end. As I've been...
Gnome Pickles says, how would they enforce a certain number of colonies? Jeff, we only have 12. Quick, you have to go found a 13th. Yes, you. Why? Because you lost the coin toss.
Doing my research, I'm convinced more than ever that we have a massive military operation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a Q guy.
Currently,
his name is Chris Yoon.
In play. You got to ask yourself, why is this...
He's kind of like more professional Peter.
Fake Biden in office? Why were a lot of celebrities wearing ankle monitors on house arrest? Why is Q, this movement, this
Q claimed as a source,
information operation heavily demonized? Why is it?
Because it's not true? For the same reason any cult gets demonized, I guess.
That when you try to go for the truth and dig up a little bit, it's censored, that you can't find it very easily. And those that really...
It's not that hard to find Q stuff. I do it every week.
Really know how to...
Like, it's not hard to find at all. Like, it's not as easy as it probably was in 2017, 2018. But it's not hard to get around, like, algorithms trying to block you from finding it. It's pretty easy.
Navigate the internet. These are the guys that are quote-unquote waking up and telling everybody else, but they sound like conspiracy nut jobs. It's because when you actually do the research, when you have to go into the dark web...
Do your own research on the bingo card.
When you have to go to these forums and look at the evidence, look at Hunter Biden weighing a bunch of crack cocaine on a scale, and it's obviously him and all.
Everyone knows Hunter Biden was a drug addict. That's not a secret. Do they think that's a secret?
All these undoctored, right, videos and photos. When you see this kind of evidence, then you realize that there's something more going on. And what you're currently seeing is that without chaos being brought all over the world, the military, these guys, have to do it in a sustained way so that over a course of time, over maybe a decade, half a decade, who knows, these things are happening so that it doesn't startle the entire population. Because what you don't want is another civil war. You don't want another world war that
really wants a civil war on the bingo card.
Is going to take even longer to be able to build back up. Imagine if
H-Beard says, who do you think has done more drugs, Hunter Biden or Donald Trump Jr.? That's tough to say, because I think Hunter Biden probably, like, does weed, and he also did, like, I don't remember the other stuff that he was on, but I think Donald Trump Jr. only does cocaine and like prescription amphetamines. So I can't say. It's kind of an apples to oranges.
If there was an actual World War III, like it was with World War II, and the buildup is going to take generations. And so these guys have planned the most complex.
It didn't take generations between World War I and World War II. It took like 1914 to 1930. It took like 20 years. You could argue that's maybe one generation if you're saying like a 20-year span where people go from children to young adults. Sure.
Military operation in the history of the world. And this is even quoting Christopher Miller when he was saying that and saying this off script, telling Mike Pence about what they were doing. And so a lot of these operators, you have to realize that they are going to take a hit. They're going to look like fools. They're going to look like traitors, right? Pence and many of these other guys, General Flynn, but they're doing this for the greater good. And you have to realize that. And many people are not at that level of awakeness and scaling up to knowing what's going on. I've been there. I'm not completely doing this 24/7, but I've done enough over the years to realize what's valid, what isn't. I've calculated, I've seen all of the different probabilities of certain events occurring. Go look up just the Q proofs itself, the top 100 Q proofs. Search that on Rumble and you will see certain things. And when you study this kind of stuff,
I am curious what that would be. I'm gonna guess it's probably really, really, really stretching to try and say things are proofs. I haven't actually watched that. I should look through that during the week and see if we can watch something like that next week. That'd be pretty funny to tear apart.
When you just don't go based on opinion, try to research it yourself, because a lot of people, they're not gonna believe. A lot of people watched my video yesterday about the fake Biden. And just from that video, it should open your eyes to allow you to be curious about asking these questions. But because people are not willing to open their minds and to investigate further, they're not going to get to that level of awakeness. And in some sense, that's fine, because if you desire it, you will find it. We're not trying to force fit, and make up something so that you can believe what you want to believe. If you truly humble yourself and ask the Lord, I want to find out as much as possible what the truth is. And so this is the process. This is what's happening with the Great Awakening. One of the greatest evils that's happening right now is Satan with child sacrifice.
Satanic child abuse on the bingo card.
All this stuff. Realize that the greatest achievement that Satan had was to convince people that he did not exist. And so
Satan doesn't exist, sir.
A lot of people think that. And of course, that's the same with God. People thinking that God doesn't exist.
The greatest trick Krampus ever pulled was tricking the world into thinking he doesn't exist. So you can do it with anything. Doesn't win you the argument just because you feel smug about a word you know or about an idiom you've heard.
If you are in a place for which you are open to finding out more, I'll try to talk about certain topics in this channel, but mainly this channel is about encouraging you in your faith and your walk during this time of this great awakening and helping you to live out the calling, the purpose that God has for you, because we need soldiers of Christ. We need people stepping up.
I don't know if I'm allowed to be a soldier of Christ in this outfit, so I think I'll stick with this outfit.
In this hour to do their part, to each their own. And so this is what this channel, these videos are about. I'm not going to talk all day, every day about uncovering some of these things. I will when the time comes. Some of this stuff is old news for many of you. For others, you're just trying to figure out when is it going to happen. And I believe a lot of this exposure.
Why does God need my help? What does God need with a starship?
A lot of what's coming out will happen very soon. A lot of people will have the truth given in front of you on a silver platter, but it's your choice, the person's choice, to believe, to do some more research, to pray about it, and to say, Lord, I want to know. And it will be given to you. But if you choose to reject it, then that is on you. And so just want to encourage you guys, because what's happening is this massive operation, a coordinated operation by the white hats. And a lot of it is theater. A lot of it are people with, these masks. They're playing a part, they're playing a role, or if they are real celebrities, they have an ankle monitor. Go look up 2020 ankle monitor. I'll talk about that maybe at some point. This is old news. But there are so many people that have had leg boots, they've had these covers, and they were out.
People break things in their feet and ankles, so sometimes they need boots that are like medical boots. That doesn't mean they're on an ankle monitor, sir.
obviously wearing something around their ankle, and people have covered this for a long time. And now you see the writers in Hollywood going on a strike and all this stuff. So you have to wonder why some of these things are happening. It's because
writers are going on strike because they're underpaid and being treated like shit by studios. It's not a trick. It's labor collectivizing.
they're trying to cover up certain aspects of the operation. The white hats, they've boxed them in, they've cornered them, they've allowed some of these guys to walk, some of these guys to take a deal, some of these guys to talk, and others are going to go to jail and they're going to be prosecuted. And so you have treason, you have crimes against humanity happening, and this is all being played out in a systematic way. You have unsealed indictments, you have court cases going on, you have investigations happening, you have
the only unsealed indictment that's been of note recently was Donald Trump's.
Congress. You have many people in politics. Marjorie Taylor.
What are white hats? In the context of Q, they think white hats are the good guys and black hats are the bad guys.
Green just put up a impeachment.
It's borrowed both from Westerns and white hat, black hat programmer or hackers. Lennon Cat says, if the government is the one that's corrupt, then why would they be the ones indicting the people that are a part of the scheme? Because they think the white hats are secretly in control. That, like, Biden is an actor, and that, like, really Donald Trump is secretly still in control.
Call for Biden. So all this stuff is happening to wake the normies up, to wake the regular person up.
Normies? Wow.
From their slumber. So the operation is successful. As I've said before, it's continuing to evolve, to happen, but stay tuned, because a lot of the good stuff will be happening and coming out, being exposed, released very soon. So love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.
He's doing great.
Is Joe Biden fake? Is this an actor? What is going on? I'm going to attempt to answer this question in the
Remember when Peter thought that Joe Biden was being played by Steve Martin in a mask?
most concise yet comprehensive manner in this video. I want to ask that as you look at these videos, as you look at this footage, that you have an open mind, that you have an analytical, critical thinking mind to really look.
Great, I can do that.
Look deeply at the attributes of who these guys are, and to really think, is this possible? And I'm going to give you.
You're telling me that Joe Biden isn't Steve Martin? No, I've never seen Joe Biden with one of those gag arrow things on his head, nor have I ever seen him play the banjo. So,
some evidence of this realm of possibility in having different people play different roles. And don't just look at it just to look at it. Really try to distinguish some of the qualities and the characteristics that you will see before you. Look at these people talking. The one on the left is an older version of Joe Biden, and this is the person on the right. Try to understand the different.
The one on the right is actually the older Joe Biden. But okay.
Differences in the facial features. Try to look at the eyes, look at the cheeks.
Yeah, Joe Biden's had, for one thing, he's aged a lot between these, but also Joe Biden has had work done. Like, that's fine. A lot of politicians get work done. It's whatever. If people want to get work done on themselves, that's fine. I don't care. But, like, that's an open secret that big politicians will get not huge things, but especially as they get older, to make them not look quite as old, they'll sometimes get some stuff that's loose, tightened.
Look at where the shape of the ears. Look at these portraits and see what you're actually looking in front of you. And I want to highlight one specific detail for you, which will probably help you understand that indeed something weird is going on here. Look at these earlobes. Look at the shape of it. Look at how one is attached on the left or on the right, and then the one that's detached and circular on the left. Here's a zoom close-up view of it. Look at the shape, the internal shape of the ears. People that say, oh, it's a facelift, plastic surgery. You don't do these things on an ear lobe. Carefully look at what you're seeing before you. The shape, the distinct shape of it, and all of the marks around it. Look at the wrinkles in the forehead. Look at some of the spots, the marks, the birthmarks. Look at the sunken cheeks. Look at the dents in the one on the left. Look at the one on the right, and how there is a more of a circular, a plumpier cheek. Look at how wide these foreheads are. Look at the shape, the hairline. Look at the eyes and the shape of it when they have different facial expressions. Again, the same sunken cheek here on the left. On the right, more of an apple-shaped cheek. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyebrows.
His mouth is in an entirely different position.
Look at the shape of the nose.
I don't know if it's Joe, to be honest with you.
Biden clearly had some kind of a tattoo, and the one on the right...
The one on the left is a Photoshop, you fucking idiot. Okay, enough of that guy. This one goes pretty hard at the beginning, just so everyone's aware.
Alright, so just to be clear, I'm not saying anyone should storm the Capitol, actually hang these people. I'm saying it's cause and effect. It's...
Hello, FBI, is this a threat on the bingo card?
It's what the thumbnail says. It's what we've been conditioned to think. Whether it's from a political aspect or...
Yeah, we'll look at the bingo card after this.
Spiritual aspect, whatever. I'm just fine with revenge is mine, saith the Lord, and he shall repay. I'm good with that. But I don't see a problem with the liars, the cheats that are destroying this country intentionally from within. We're living it as I speak. Being exiled. You know, I've talked many a time about how I am perfectly fine with simply stop playing the game. It's gonna hurt. I've said for years, there's no way off of this pain train outside of Jesus, of course. You're not gonna get off lightly out of this. There's no good ending to this, or easy ending to this. So what it's going to take is the hard work. What I do often reference, you know, I can't believe these people are still breathing, because that's the world they've created. That's what I would imagine. Even if this weren't part of God's plan, I would have imagined long ago, you know, especially with the upbringing and the America I was sold, which is a complete, literal 180-degree turn from the America they're selling to the people now.
Jake Thoney says, honestly, me ending up hung would not be the worst thing. Oh, this is like an angry rant. He's seething.
And it doesn't matter which side. As much as I go in on the leftists, I go in just as much on the Trump chumps that still believe that lie. You know, just another example. Please don't get mistaken that I'm some desanctimonious fan. But he comes out the other day and points out the bleeding obvious that anyone should know, but the Trump chumps will just excuse it away, just like we're getting all the decade-long sentences for all the victims of Donald Trump that brought them to the Capitol on January 6th. When people like myself begged them not to fall for that honey trap. But, you know, God bless them. I hope they see the error of their ways. I hope they see the idol worship they've been sucked into. Of the false idol, the cult of personality that is Donald Trump. That did indeed increase the debt. All the, you know, Christians out there that seem to, you know, truly worship at the altar of the bank and the government, as long as it's their Republican form of government.
Does he think a Republican form of government means Republicans being in office? Oh, God. H-Bird says, it's actually kind of sad. These people have rules lawyered away every terrible thing they've done for so long that they basically can't come back to reality. Living in the real world would involve way too much pain when realizing what assholes they've been that they just can't do it. Yep. These people, this guy, he's gone. This guy's not coming back. It's like Chris. Like, CC, he's not coming back. Like, how could he? He's revolved his entire life around this flat earth stuff, and it seems like it's the only thing he thinks about when he's awake. It seems like the absolute only thing he thinks about, he talks about, for years. He can't go back on that because it would be destructive to his ego in a profound way. I'm not saying that's a good thing, by the way. I'm just saying matter-of-factly, I do not think he is mentally capable of coming back from it without having complete, like, mental breakdown.
Go on and on about what great things Donald Trump did for the economy, and then he erased it all like that when he introduced his, "Don't worry, it's just 2 weeks to flatten the curves," and foist Anthony Mengele Fauci upon.
Comparing public health measures to the Holocaust on the bingo card.
On the world. Donald Trump did that. Donald Trump brags to this day about being the pappy of the jab that has killed millions worldwide. And you idiots expect us to worship him like you do? I'm sorry, I should be more understanding. Maybe you're not idiots, but you are brainwashed.
Yeah, line between Shudwatch and Tinfoil Tuesday thins. Definitely from the previous video.
You are in a cult.
They just claim the vaccine has killed billions. Math is hard. This is a funny thing. Unironically, if you spend time in these anti-vax spaces, you would think like a third of the planet has dropped dead suddenly over the last year. Like it's nuts. They really have hyped each other up into believing there's just mass random death happening because of vaccines. It's crazy. Like, I forget the exact number, but billions of people have been vaccinated. We would notice if there was a problem by now.
Now you can say, I'm in a cult too. The cult of Christ Jesus.
Yeah?
I feel a lot more comfortable with my cult leader than you should with yours.
That's an interesting statement. That's so much more honest than you think it is. You're saying it so ironically, and it's such a non-ironic statement. It's just factual, and it makes me sad. Population control is a motive? Sure.
I'll put my cult leader's record against Donald Trump's any day of the week. He was killed because he was sinless and perfect.
We do have do your own research. We don't have 4chan on the bingo card.
And they hated him for it because he called out the deceivers and the Pharisees.
Root fake. Bingo. Let me see your bingo card.
And the sons of Satan posing as saviors. Donald Trump is far from that.
Take a look at the bingo card for root fake, satanic, someone doesn't understand cameras, free space, only reputable sources the Bible, and forced sterilization population control as a motive. Root fake, you do indeed win the gift sub. Would you like me to write your name down or gift it randomly? I only ask because every time I start to write someone's name down, they already tell me to donate it. So I'm going to wait until people tell me what they want me to do. Donate it. Perfect. Let's go. Gift one sub. Loading. There we go. Who won? Depraved Ambiance wins the random gift sub. So good for them. So that's the bingo winner for the week. Or for the whatever. Oh, twice in a week. Oh, did Root Fake already win this week? It's not really supposed to work that way. It's supposed to be once per month you can win. But it was gifted randomly anyway. So, it's fine.
So, the Sanctimonious comes out. You know, it's a good cop, bad cop routine all over again. Hegelian Dialectic 101. Now, depending on whose cheerleading camp you're in, is who's the good cop and who's the bad cop, but it's still the same between Drumpf and De Sanctimonious.
I hate that people, like, these nicknames, I hate this shit. Just call people their name. I also don't like Donald Trump, but just immediately, like, calling him, like, a name like that just makes you sound, like, dumb. I feel like the same thing when, like, people called Joe Biden Brandon or whatever dumb shit. Just calling names is, like, the lowest form of comedy. It's not clever, it just sounds immature. You can absolutely tell politicians to suck shit and that they're the worst, that's fine. But at least sound like an adult when you're doing it. Or at least a teenager.
Trump and DeSantis. I'm tired of fucking censoring my words for this godless AI YouTube fucking Muppet.
That's intense.
Algorithm. Anyways, so I'm perfectly fine. Again, I have two great locations.
I'm familiar with the Drumpf thing. It's just annoying to me. It's just calling someone a name. I understand that it really was the family name, but it's still being used in a weird derogatory way. I don't know why.
Either send these motherfuckers to Antarctica.
It's a silly thing to call him. I don't like when people just call people silly things as like a thing in politics.
Antarctica with the penguins, where they don't seem to want to send us or let us roam freely and just explore. Or Epstein Island is even better. See, they're masters at pitting poor, manipulated, indoctrinated through the public school system Democrats and Republicans against each other. I mean, to this day, this is when I say I can't believe Jamie Dimon's still breathing. Not because I'm suggesting anyone's do anything about it, but I can't believe somebody hasn't already. Why is it with all these mass incidents that they clamor to make all these laws? Why do they never attack?
False flag on the bingo card.
The people fucking us.
Because politicians typically have a lot of security around them, and also the kind of people prone to these sort of mass shooting events are not stable individuals. These are people who often blame society at large for their problems. In the case of a lot of these people, they are men who are either mentally unwell, or they're like neo-Nazi or I-word types that blame women because they're not like liked or something. It's a whole thing. Generally these people are not people who are considering, oh, the state has fucked me in some way. Or if they do, it's for fucked up weird Nazi reasons.
You would think statistically it
Jake Thoney says often people who have fallen victim to fascist ideology
would happen, but they always seem to attack the little people that have nothing to do with it, other than their ignorance in thinking their voting system.
Yeah, Twitch doesn't like it when you call people the I-word for some reason.
Is some legitimate form of government. Thinking that we the people have a say in any of this crap anymore. The only say we have is to elicit, when they elicit the reaction they've already determined we will have, because we've been programmed to. That's the only reason they need their voice, to react to their initiated problem so that they can initiate their pre-planned solution over and over and over. Both sides. So we know they get along famously in the Capitol together while they pit us against each other. So put them on Epstein Island. They'll get along peachy. Just make sure to live stream that shit. I'll pay $20 a month for 24/7 live stream of those people. Congratulations, you're free. We're tired of your shit, but according to you, you're so great. Go ahead and start a society. Oh, one little problem. None of you have ever built or created anything other than bullshit lies and manipulations to enrich yourselves while you use the little people. So, go ahead, start your society. Oh, one little thing. If you get lucky and happen to create any sort of device where you can communicate outside of that island to the outside world, we're gonna fucking bomb that shit.
What?
And start over. You've proven you're too fucking dangerous to have contact with the outside world. So welcome to Epstein Island. This is your little Australia, you fucking criminals. Have a blast. We'll be watching and laughing while you devour each other. Let's see how quickly they turn on each other. They turn on us constantly. So no, I don't think anyone should attack these fucking idiots. They're not worth it. They're not worth the chance of losing your soul by killing them. I understand the desire, but control it. Vengeance.
I don't think other people are having... I think you're projecting a lot onto other people.
This is his. Let him have it. But I'm absolutely in support of both sides realizing who the true enemy is, who keeps pitting us against each other from every angle. Genders, races, classes, name it. Religions. Let's see how quickly they turn on each other. Live 24/7 from Epstein Island. Used to be a favorite place of quite a few of them, apparently. Of course, we'll hear about it, just never see anything done about it, as long as they're still in charge. They love Epstein Island so motherfucking much. I think it's perfectly fine to arrest, try, and banish them to their favorite little island for the rest of their miserable lives. Do I have any faith in this happening? Of course not. This country's under judgment, and I don't think it's going to go very well. Me, as for my house, we shall serve the Lord. Stay out of the way. I'll speak my truth. I ain't going to attack anybody. I'm going to leave that for the big guy. The all-knowing, the almighty, the all-glorified. He's got this.
Oh, well, that's horrifying. MH Darkbeast says, just remember, Hannah, even Biden has embraced Dark Brandon. I've seen this.
I'm going to be fine with your jokes, but I'm not sure about Dark Brandon.
I've seen. Oh god, this was just nuts. This is nuts.
So all compasses point south. Okay, they flipped everything on you. Alright? There's only one hole you can get to without wings, people.
Compasses point both north and south. They align with the directionality of the magnetic field of Earth.
And that's the one that you can traverse.
Oh shit, we're supposed to do the card. Sorry. I know someone already won, but we should still do it. Illuminati Freemasons. Research said... No, that's not the one. Incorrect word origin as evidence. Overt anti-Semitism. Word salad. QAnon as a source. Spurious symbology as evidence. Rounding error numerology. I think that's it on this page. Oh, public health measures compared to the Holocaust. Do I ever watch Lord NoFap? No. Is he like a MGTOW manosphere type or something? Satanic, ritual child abuse. Really wants a civil war. Numerology as evidence. False flag, he implied that about shootings. Thinly veiled anti-Semitism. Population control is a motive. I think that's it, maybe? 89, what's 89? Oh, do your own research. Cool.
Over the flat plane to where all compasses point to. It's clear, people. Alright? That's why there's the red line on your compass. Okay.
The red line on your compass is to indicate which direction is north.
Okay, because it's pointing to where Jesus places his light into the hole, people. It's very clear. Jesus is the sun. Now, I know some of you just don't want to let go of Jesus. Listen to me, people. You spill your fucking blood over your intent and you publish it right beside the rest of ours. Okay? You're here as an extension of your creator. You were told, make no engraven images, no false idols. Jesus, you walk into a church, you kneel down to the feminine, you place holy feminine water on your forehead, okay, and then you worship a dead man on it that you suggest died on a cross. You take your cannibal blood magic, you're clearly in the reverse of truth, and you need to snap the fuck out of your illusion. You're in a cage right now, okay, and it's been exposed, and you need to step up, because you're fucking retarded. Now, we're in this shit together, people, and we need to stick together for our survival. The Bible is the two bulls, the paradox, okay? One side of a...
Oh yeah, this guy's very Time Cube.
White hole's a black hole. I am the Alpha and Omega. Okay, it's clear, people. You'd have to be fucking retarded not to put this together.
Sorry for the R word.
You speak Satan's language. You eat his poison food, drink his fluoridated water. You use his money.
Fluoride on the bingo card.
Everything about you oozes fucking Satan. You graduate from school, you put your satanic cap on, and then you brag about your degrees or your angle of stupidity. Because you're either straight or you're fucking confused.
Alright. That's enough of that guy. Can only take a very small dose of that. Hope he gets some help. He clearly needs it, unfortunately. What else we got?
How silly this International Space Station is. Look.
Hello, Herman from Belgium. You wanted to know how we wash our clothes in space. Well, actually, we don't. We don't have a washing machine here, and also it would use up a lot of water, and water is very scarce in space.
Strange that water's scarce in space, because your colleagues seem to spend quite a lot of time are throwing water around. What makes it even worse is they seem to be...
They do that for demonstrations. They're not doing it all the time when the cameras aren't rolling. They do it very specifically when they're showing people things because it's interesting and novel, because it doesn't do that on Earth. Does he think that astronauts on the ISS are constantly, like, doing the water thing? Like they do when they're showing people stuff on live streams?
They're throwing it around in an electrical environment. So they're throwing a scarce resource around in a...
Yeah, and then they suck it up. And it's like this much water, usually.
A dangerous environment unnecessarily. What a silly charade this is.
Do you think the wires are exposed on the ISS?
Continue though, please, fella.
Also recycle our water, and we only use it to drink or to wash. So therefore our...
Gnome Pickle says you're either straight or you're confused. Sir, I am the opposite of confused, as I am certain that relaxing against a big ol' himbo's chest is the best way to watch a movie.
Clothes, we just take a stack of clothes with us, and at the end, when they get dirty, they get trashed and they go back to the Earth in the Progress or the ATV, the European cargo vehicle that sometimes comes to the International Space Station. Of course, we don't have a lot of clothes, because if we would have fresh clothing or new clothing every day, this would mean a lot of mass that we need to take up. So we have, for example, these type of shirts or the t-shirts that I'm wearing right now, or here you see a number of sport socks that we wear. Well, this clothing is, we reuse it an awful lot. For example, this type of shirts, we have one shirt per month. Socks, we use a little bit more often, because of course when we sport, we sweat. And so socks...
You get one shirt per month? Does everyone on the ISS fucking stink? Like, genuinely, I'm not joking. Do they stink? Haradan4, thanks for 2 months.
We change about once a week. But that's it.
One top per month, can't wash it, and one pair of socks per week. I can only presume it's the same for your underwear. But if this silly charade was real, which...
Cloud Wizard 42 says maybe that's how NASA keeps them from having sex in space.
Clearly it's not anyway. But if it was real, imagine how smelly, disgusting, unpleasant and unhealthy this place would be. And we've only touched upon the surface here. But people floating around, dead skin coming off them, not having shower for weeks on end, stinking, socks on they've had on all week.
In fairness, I do imagine that they, like, wash themselves, you know? They probably just use, like, a washcloth and, what's that called? I know what it's called, but it's not a very politically correct term for it, so I don't know what to call it. You're like a sponge bath type thing.
Top they've had on for a month.
They use dry soap? Okay.
Imagine it. It's only going to get worse as well. Look.
Hello, and welcome to the toilet.
We've shown this video before where they show the toilet
of the International Space Station. Let's say you're up here on ISS and you need to go to the restroom. You want to come to this cabin, and the first thing you want to do is grab this piece of equipment and turn this rotary switch 90 degrees to the open position. What that does is it turns on a fan, which creates a suction effect.
They're in your socks, you've had environment. Because of what you've just shown us, and if you were in a weightless environment, there'd be particles of number 2 flying all over the place there. Because this is...
Not if it got sucked into the thing. She just said there was suction. Elminato says, sneak peek at NASA cleaning tech. Oh god. Doesn't he have like a stick?
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
This isn't a pump system. This is a bag and tag system. What makes it worse, you'd be sat there in your socks you've had on for a week and your top you've had on for a month, absolutely stinking, breathing in particles of the last person.
Yeah, it's not great. I imagine it's not fun being on the ISS. Like, I'm sure it's fun in the sense that it's, like, novel, and if you're a scientist and you get to do this, presumably it's been your dream your whole life because it takes so much work to get there. Like, I'm sure that they've been training their whole careers to be able to do this, you know? So that's great, I'm sure. But yeah, it's probably uncomfortable. It probably is uncomfortable. I would imagine being in a submarine is probably uncomfortable too, but people do it. H-Bird says, speaking of...
What's happening?
Oh, yeah, this is when the poop was floating around.
Did it? Who did what? Who did it? Give me some. Where did that come from? Give me a napkin quick. There's a turd floating through. I didn't do it. It ain't one of mine. I don't think it's one of mine. Mine was a little more sticky than that. Throw that away. God almighty. What do you think? Nothing. That's enough for me. Yeah. Nice going there. No more turds are going to fit in there. Is that waste compartment full? No, hell, there's nothing in there. It goes all the way down to the deck. Well, it's going to stick in. No, when I got in there, I had to stick my hand in there and shove it. He put it in the bag, didn't he? You guys been trying to stick it through there with your fingers?
Human beings could literally be in the far future traveling to different alternate dimensions and meeting alternate dimension beings, and we'll still be dealing with how to shit and laughing about how weird it is that we have to shit.
Okay, that's perfectly good contact. Tom, what bothers me about this contact?
We're just dumb apes. We're just dumb apes.
Person who went to the toilet. What a sorry state this place would be if it was actually real.
It is real.
In there, it looks like this. And when we are done with our business, we close the bag and we push it down into the solid waste container.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bag and tag system. There's no sucking involved regarding that bag. You claim there was, but you should...
Yeah. She claimed there was because that's in the toilet. And then it sucks it into the bag in the toilet, and then you take the bag and you put it in the thing.
Showed us there wasn't.
Do you want her to shit on video?
And in doing so, you showed how ridiculous the ISS is, or would be if it was real, and how disgusting that environment would be.
It's probably gross, I'm not gonna lie.
Real. Now we've got Canadian legend
It's like Comic-Con.
Chris Hadfield going to continue this silliness.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Yankovic from Corpus Christi School in grade 6. My question is, how do you wash your hands with soap and water in space?
How do we wash our hands? Nicholas, I brought something to answer your question. Look closely at the camera. You can see this. It is...
No rinse body bath pouch assy. I assume that means something, but I'm mature enough to find joy in it regardless.
No rinse body bath. No rinse body bath. And it's a bag with a straw. So now let's demonstrate. Okay, it's time to get clean. I'm going to squirt some water out.
Is it like soapy water?
So Chris is now squirting a valuable resource of water, which he's...
Do you think they only have strictly enough? I'm sure they pack a little extra for shit like this.
Mixed.
He also didn't empty the whole thing. He literally unsealed it and let a little bit out. It's still perfectly usable, I would imagine. It might be the one he's going to use later after this. Who knows?
To make these bodies wash or whatever.
Dr. Gamble says the Y in assy makes it kid appropriate.
He's now squirting a valuable resource, and in doing so, in an electrical environment.
Nope.
Turning a valuable resource, wasting it, potentially turning it into a dangerous environment. Can you see how fucking ridiculous all of this is? The only reason he's doing that is to try and fool naive or gullible or young people into believing absurdities like space stations orbiting scientifically impossible.
Could you guys hear Baha laughing downstairs on the time delay?
Observes. Because if this was real, and what we're about to see Chris wash his hands, all Chris would have done is contribute to the already disgusting space station with number 1, number 2, dead hair, dead skin cells, all
pretty specifically, they suction up the pee and the poop so it's not floating around.
Floating around, and now dirty hand wash water added to the mix in an electrical environment. So if what we were seeing here was true, we basically would be seeing Chris waste valuable resources unnecessarily, and in doing so endangering the lives of the people on the space station.
Do you think maybe you're being a little hyperbolic about the fact that this astronaut who's trained to be up there squirted this much liquid out of a container? I feel like you're being a bit hyperbolic here.
When really all Chris would need to do was use a wet wipe to clean and wash his hands. Job done. No water wasted. Everything's controlled and safe. But of course, Chris is trying to sell.
Is he under the impression that NASA and other space organizations haven't already thought about this thoroughly? Like, does he think that they're just like, I don't know, how are we gonna wash ourselves? I don't know, fucking Capri Sun pouch of water. Like, no, I'm sure this went through extensive testing and engineering to figure out what's the most efficient and cost-effective way to allow astronauts in space on the ISS to clean themselves. They're not just making shit up. I would imagine every single thing that goes to the ISS goes through very extensive engineering processes to make sure that they can make it as lightweight as possible and as efficient as possible for whatever it's trying to do. Stone Corbell says, I don't understand why he thinks disgusting equals doesn't exist. Like, if it doesn't exist and all this is fake CG and special effects, wouldn't they make it look awesome? Like, they'd make it look like Star Trek, where everything worked great and was clean and super nice. Yeah, that's never made sense to me. They're making unfalsifiable claims. They're basically, no matter what it looks like, they're just going to complain about it because they just don't want it to be true. It's not necessarily that it's gross, it's just he thinks it's not true, so he's going to criticize that it's gross and attribute that to it not being real, even though there's no real connection between the two.
Silly, weightless lie that is the International Space Station. Hence, we have to entertain all sorts of silliness and contradictions like we've seen here.
A big ball of water, and you put it on your hand. And now I've got...
And don't even get me started on Chris's watch. No, you're not going to take a watch to a weightless environment and have it 2 sizes too big so it's swinging all over your wrist. That would get...
That's not 2 sizes too big. I know you guys can't see it. Hold on, let me move this real quick so you can see. It's a little loose, but not severely. I've worn watches that loose in the past. Sometimes watches... I've worn men's watches. Some watches when you put on, especially if they're a metal band like that, there's pretty specific, like, sizing for, like, when it clicks in. So sometimes it'll be a little too tight or a little too loose. You're gonna go with a little too loose probably rather than a little too tight, but it's not loose enough that it's coming off his wrist, you know? It's just a little wiggly. It's fine.
Really annoying very quickly. And would actually be quite sore on your wrist after a while.
Why? What? How heavy do you think it'll be sore on your wrist? It's a watch. It's a watch? Have you worn a watch in your life?
But of course, Chris hasn't really got a wristwatch on. It's an augmented watch.
What? The watch is a lie. I like that even in the conspiracy, he can't just be wearing a watch as part of the costume for the conspiracy. It has to be a fake watch.
Aim to sell the lie of the weightless environment. And that's why it's there swinging about.
I think it's probably just so he can tell the time easily wherever he is in the space station, so he doesn't have to, like, find a clock or shout out to people, hey, what time is it?
Jewelry on the girls and watches on men. It'd just be silly to entertain wearing a watch that was several sizes too big.
It's not that much bigger than his wrist. It really
It'll do your head in. Again, another technique these clowns
like,
use.
it's bordering, it's not even really hyperbole. It just feels like he's lying about what we're seeing. Like, how could you honestly look at this and go, that is several sizes too big? No, it's not. What? Like, it's not even really hyperbole. It just feels like a lie.
Water floating around on my hand. And so I'd wash my hands up with that. And then grab a towel.
So what Chris has done is just wash his hands, create dirty water that is now floating around in a breathable space station. Okay? It's now joined the air they are breathing, along with number 1, number 2, dead hair.
You're breathing shit and piss in every bathroom you go to, just so you know. Everywhere in the world you go, you're breathing a little bit of shit and piss. Like, I don't know if this guy knows that, but you are... like, yeah, that's life. That's life, people. We're in an atmosphere, and that atmosphere is full of creatures that shit and piss. And we are some of the shittiest, pissiest out there. And we live in societies with each other. So, as you do, you know, there are particulates in the air. Not a ton. But yeah, you're gonna breathe some shit and piss. That's life. You live, you breathe shit and piss, you shit and piss and add to the air, and you die. It says something, doesn't it?
Dead skin, and who knows what else would be there.
Minty Treasure says, we're made of shit and piss. We're at 2009 angry video game nerd level humor now, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
If this environment was real.
Jake Thoney says, turns out you can even drink your piss. Shabambu!
And what they've shown us and told us was real. Imagine if all this was real. Imagine one of these so-called astronauts sat on that toilet, that bag and tag system, having an upset tummy. Imagine the mess.
Yeah, diarrhea probably is not fun on the ISS, I would agree. You're probably not very popular that day either. It's not a big space. Logard says, we are a way for this universe to better shit itself.
They'd make in a weightless environment. And then imagine these guys having their tea. Look.
To be clear, a lot of the people on the ISS are American, and they don't do tea. You fucking weirdos. Image Darkbeast says, IBS on the ISS. Also, Hannah, it appears to be gay to say good morning. Men are weird animals. I showed this to Baha earlier. I saw this. Is it gay for a man to tell another man good morning? I am a 23-year-old male. My dad and I were out at the laundromat, and as we were leaving, another man walks in. I make eye contact with him and I say, good morning. He replies, y'all fellas all right? When we walked out, my father tells me, don't ever say good morning to a man around your age. Guys would think you're a little sweet. You understand me? Next time say what's up or what's going on. To a woman it's fine, but not a man. When you're out on the street, don't say that. People have problems.
Is so absurd just based on their own claims, putting pieces together.
Thank you, Rageology. I already vaguely knew that.
Yeah, you would never.
But I'm glad you clarified for sure.
Ever eat your food in that environment. You'd have a controlled room where you sit and eat your food, which was sealed off from the rest, where you wouldn't have any contamination issues whatsoever coming from toilets, dirty water from your hands supposedly being washed. Bizarrely.
Again, I think he thinks the environment on Earth is so much more sterile than it is in reality. He seems to think on Earth, like, it's all clean, everything's clean all the time, there's no germs from other stuff around.
You didn't use wet wipes. And of course the toilet itself, number 1s and number 2s, and dead skin and hair, and all the other horribles that would be floating around in this weightless environment if it was real. You'd certainly never be doing that, Tosh.
He literally just did for the camera.
The only reason
I want the NASA mac and cheese.
The reason they throw water around and eat their food like this is to sell the lie that is.
Forrest Espion with 11 months says, LOL, are the straights okay? Hannah, what's up with this sub? What will this sub baby's name be? 11 months? Did I not give you one at 9? Let's say this sub baby's name is Tortilla Burrito. Tortilla Burrito.
The weightless lie of a...
The funny thing is, I bet the air on the ISS is actually cleaner than the average room on Earth because it's constantly being filtered. So it's probably actually cleaner.
Space station orbiting a scientifically impossible globe Earth. You wouldn't throw your scarce water resource around a space station that's electrical. You just wouldn't do it. You'd use a wet wipe, and you certainly would have a toilet that was sealed off in a scientific manner from the rest of the space station if all you had in place was a bag and tag system. And most definitely you wouldn't be eating your food like this. They interact with things like food and water with special effects called augmented reality. That's how they sell this lie. Obviously they're not...
Do you think augmented reality existed when the ISS first went into space?
Not in space.
Because they've been doing videos like this since the ISS was up there and since people have been up there.
Do ludicrous speeds around the ball. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to point out...
Ludicrous speed.
These obvious problems.
We've gone plaid.
Problems day in, day out.
I gotta remind myself, just saying lines from movies isn't a joke.
Week in, week out.
When you think thoughts in your head, you don't always have to verbalize them.
The base claim.
Just a mnemonic device.
It is a space station orbiting a ball is scientifically impossible anyway. And then you look at what they're telling you. It doesn't take a genius to work it out, does it? Come on.
Well, he's great. Great. Logarth says, haha, Darmak and Jalad, ha! Darmak and Jalad at Tanagra. Temba, his arms wide. Did we ever get a part 3 of the Evil Stepmom video series? It got taken off, like, they never put it on YouTube, I don't think. It was on their, like, app. Shaka when the walls fell. From within your mind, no one else can find a life that you inspire. From another faith, not from outer space, but from some place even higher.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Sunday, May 21st, 2023, and this is Joe Imbriano, your host, the Fullerton Informer, coming to you live from the streets of Southern California. And I just wanted to really kind of bring some information here to the table. There have been some recent developments with the death of a person named Dr. Rashid Buttar. And, you know, folks, I want to tell you something about Dr. Buttar. Number one, I don't know if his death is even real. Number two, I will tell you that that this man was definitely part of the controlled opposition. He was given tons of airtime on CNN and these other things, working with all these other controlled opposition agents. And the biggest, I guess the biggest poison pill of Dr. Buttar is he actually was promoting the existence of viruses. Okay?
Germ theory on the bingo card. Don't get that one often.
Now, let me tell
and
you
recording in car.
Ladies and gentlemen, aside from the fact of what he refused to talk about and what he mixed up and minced around, the bottom line is, as long as we are following along with the lie about the existence of viruses...
They're not lying. Viruses are real. They're a real thing.
Those people who are in power will always maintain power over us because the virus trumps everything, folks. You've got to understand in this paradigm, this lie, this false reality that has been given.
This guy would probably be really good friends with Chris. Like, even outside of the conspiracy bullshit, they just seem like similar dudes.
Given to us by education, media, and government, and even the clergy, because if you go to church, they're going to talk to you about the virus and the vaccines. All right? They're going to tell you that, the vaccine, the COVID's real, that the viruses are real. Folks, if they can get you to believe in these fake viruses, then they can get you to they can get you to go along with them taking away all your rights. Okay? Because that's what they did in a practice.
I don't think any virus has taken away my Third Amendment right. I haven't heard soldiers enter the home.
Just run with COVID-19. But what they're going to do is they're going to notch things up.
Hydrate.
They're going to increase the pain a little bit, if you will, folks. They're going to use real electromagnetic weapons combined with different types of chemical poisonings like graphene, combined with chitin. They're going to be using, they're going to get you to eat the bugs, and they're going to put the graphene in the coffee, folks. They're putting
the graphene in the coffee.
Put the graphene in the chocolate. They're going to put graphene in other things. They're not just going to put graphene in the vaccines.
Not graphene.
Folks, they could put stuff in the vaccines to stop your heart. Okay? But my point is, as long as you have people that are promoting the existence of viruses and then telling us to find solutions to the so-called viral threat or so-called viral infections, like Dr. Buttar was talking about how, we need to boost our immune system to fight the virus, okay? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that's the con. If you believe in the virus and if you're promoting the existence of the virus, you are working for the deniers of Jesus Christ who are running these operations to kill everybody. All right? Those are the facts. Dr. Buttar was working for the deniers of Jesus Christ by promoting the lies of the virus. There are other people out there like Dr. Kaufman and Dr. Cowan who are cut from the same cloth, working for the deniers of Jesus Christ, promoting the PSYOP like the exosome scam and all this other stuff. Folks, there is no such thing as a virus. There are no viruses, folks. All right? You cannot get sick from breathing the air unless it's poisoned. Remember?
Tyradona says, I myself stir my coffee with pencil lead.
Remember that. This is Joe Imbriano, the Fullerton Informer. I have said from day one, from the very beginning of this COVID PSYOP, that the coronavirus hoax is a massive psychological warfare operation that was designed to usher in forced vaccinations, travel restrictions.
That didn't happen.
Economic restrictions, food restrictions, every type of...
That didn't happen.
...restriction ever known to man under the guise of a fake virus.
So the only thing even close that happened is travel restrictions, meaning, like, across international borders.
They can get you...
And that wasn't even universal, but, like, yeah.
...to lay prostrate at their feet and demand their solution, which was a vaccine. And they get to do all kinds of horrible things, like destroy everything that we thought we once had a right to, like freedom to travel, freedom to associate, freedom over...
Freedom to travel. Wondering if that's a subset. dog whistle.
Our bloodstream's autonomy over our bodies, right? You see, with the fake virus narrative, folks, they get to kill all the animals and all the livestock and shut down the food supply if they say a fake virus infected the food production facility. They get to kill all the animals if a fake virus supposedly infects all the chickens. So you won't have any eggs, you won't have any chicken, you won't have any milk. They'll kill all the cows because say the fake virus infected the cows.
Shame for the cows. Probably be good for the environment, though. Cows give off a lot of methane.
And you got these people that are promoting the contagion myth, folks. And you have people like Dr. Buttar, Dr. Shiva. I did a video about 3 years ago on these two, exposing them, how they supposedly they're painted as anti-vaxxers, right? And they put them on TV. Did Dr. Buttar ever go on the television set on CNN when he had the chance? So many times he was interviewed and say, just simply read section 13 of the vaccine inserts that states that the vaccines have not been tested for mutagenic potential, carcinogenic potential, or impairment of fertility? No. Did Dr. Buttar ever go on television on CNN and say the virus was fake and the viruses don't exist? No. Did he ever go on television and explain how they're going to use all these cell towers and the electromagnetic systems in
5G on the bingo card?
Conjunction with the metals and the graphene they're going to put in the food? No. He just talked about how to boost your immune system, and he kept the narrative going. He kept the train rolling down the tracks. He kept...
Thank you, Whistle34. I got the thing you sent. The note said, enjoy your gift. I hope you have never seen number 2 when Sonny Bono was purchasing an explosive device at the airport counter. Notice the Rocky poster in the background from your name. Thank you. Appreciate it. Although, this is kind of funny. I think you bought me the Airplane movies because the scene you're referencing is from Airplane 2. The sequel, and I do remember the scene you're talking about. He's in front of a poster that says, like Rocky 32 or something, and it's an old man. However, the thing you got from my list, which of course was on my list, so it's something I want, is the Airport Complete Collection. So this is Airport, which is different than Airplane. Airplane is a satire of the Airport films. So close. But thank you. And someone else got me ladybugs. So thank you for ladybugs. So good stuff.
Kept the lie rolling, folks. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if they try to turn him into some hero. Because by turning him into some hero continues his narrative, folks. And his narrative is that viruses are real, and they're not. He said Ebola was real. Ebola is a microwave attack, folks. Hemorrhagic disease is caused by metallic poisoning with microwave weaponry.
Believe sci-fi technology exists. Rootfake says, it's been a while since I saw Airport watched in a film class about disaster movies. Yeah, I added a bunch of 70s disaster movies to my wish list semi-recently. They seem cool.
Those are the facts, folks. If you have any further questions, vaxdangers.com, celltowerdangers.com, 5gdangers.com, thefullertoninformer.com. This is Joe Imbriano on the 21st of May, 2023, coming to you in the name of Jesus Christ and in the name of truth. In a world...
You're good, Whistle34. I have Airplane 1 and 2 already anyway. So now I have Airport. Thank you.
That is occupied and run by devils, but is no match for the power of the one who paid it all, the ultimate source of wisdom, truth, courage, and our ultimate reward, eternal life in Jesus Christ. Take care, folks.
Wow, he's crazy. The Fullerton Informer. That's the name of him. I feel like I actually had him saved at one point, but at some point my bookmarks got reset, and I think I lost him. So it's good to see him again. Oh. Yeah, he was the guy who had like the weird couch or something. I remember. That's a long one. This is a long one, I think, right now. Trying to find a relatively short one because we're coming close to the end of the stream. That one's pretty long too, right? 45 minutes. 30 minutes. 50 minutes. I think the 9-minute one's the closest. We watched a different thing on Tupac, I think, last week. This is a different Tupac video.
Tupac Shakur, the supposed anti-Illuminati artist in the music industry, while he's doing Illuminati hand signs.
Is Tupac anti-Illuminati? That's not something I ever have ever heard.
And I'll definitely get into that aspect as we move forward with this video presentation.
Is Baha ever going to open a Twitch or YouTube channel? You'd have to ask her. Then be up to her. She's definitely very busy with school right now, with her PhD. But who knows? That's up to her.
Let's look at the details.
I think she'd be very good at it. She's always good at it when she comes on, you know, for me.
The supposed
Avant Gardner, thanks for 14 months, says saying, hey. Hey, how's it going?
Passing in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this article from the Las Vegas Sun, dated September 19th, 1996, Tupac's final music video eerily foreshadowed the passing of the rapper of Tupac Shakur, made about a month before he was down in Las Vegas, foreshadowed his passing and showing the gangster rapper being ushered into heaven.
Heretic Cuddlefish, thanks for subscribing at tier 2 for 12 months. Happy anniversary. Sneaks into the last minute for this stream after a whole year. Well, I'm glad you've been here for a full year. Moira Soma says, why are they so obsessed with Tupac? I don't get it. Any celebrity that's dead that they can weaponize is something that they like. They're obsessed with it. It's crazy. Hype Train, 0% to level 2. I'm just gonna let this one be, considering how good the last one was. I'm not gonna push my luck.
And let's show the scene here. And as they're leaving a nightclub, you see Tupac. And this is when he's basically taken out right in front of the nightclub. And what do you see here? He's working on Tupac in the music video. And like I mentioned from
Whistle 34 says Tupac lives on in memory.
That one news article from the Las Vegas Sun. Here he is in heaven, Red Fox, and all the other celebrities going back in time with Tupac. So this is 100% once again predictive programming, as they tell.
It's not. Gangster rap in that period was mired in this sort of imagery of, like, killing each other over beefs and stuff. It was reflective of, like, the real conflict at hand that ended the lives of him and Biggie. Did Biggie also get shot? Biggie died, right? Yeah.
Tell us what's going to happen.
I'm not crazy.
Before it happens, in an interesting note here, with Tupac and his details. Find it interesting, again, passing September 13th, 1996, and September 13th is Friday the 13th. And as I move forward, you'll see how this...
Harry Dan with 4 with just says T with 100 bits. Squirrels on Film, thanks for gifting us up.
It all comes together. But one thing I want to mention as far as those in the music industry, people didn't understand these are just puppets, merely puppets on the world stage. They wouldn't make it where they're at unless they're allowed to. In the music videos, supposedly in heaven, along with Tupac and others, this very famous quote from Jimi Hendrix, you can hypnotize people with music, and when you get them at their weakest point, you can preach into their subconscious whatever you want to say. And that's what the music industry is all about. It's part of shaping, informing society, and definitely Tupac, absolutely no hero. And a huge aspect, of course, like I said, with the music industry, it's just like people...
You're good, Harry Dan. It was the most profound tea I have ever seen in my life.
In the music industry, hypnotize their audience just like a snake charmer does to the snake. It's basically the same...
Again with the snakes! Stop talking about snakes all the time!
Same thing, where musicians basically hypnotize their fans. And obviously with Jimi Hendrix putting the truth in plain sight. Now, with Tupac's last album being released November 5th, 1996, titled Machiavelli. And this is a huge aspect. It's like I mentioned earlier with the Masonic, very Masonic hand pose on this album cover for his very last music videos as I shown. Let's take a look here at the details. And of course, when it comes down to it, once again with Machiavelli, this is named after very famous Italian philosopher and writer Niccolo Machiavelli, who is very well known for faking his passing as well. So that's just another aspect to this whole Tupac Shakur faking his passing. It's not just one piece I'm using to put this together, as I shown previously with the predictive programming, as I shown earlier in front of the nightclub with this scene. 100% this is predictive programming, no doubt whatsoever. And again, getting back to the photo I showed with Tupac doing the Masonic hand sign, that's very interesting because with Machiavelli, as you see here, and his name, his surname being 33 numerology, people might just say, oh, that's just some amazing coincidence with Freemasonry and the number 33 with his surname. But take a look here, and what do you see? From this one Masonic website showing his book, The Prince, and you see the title here, The Prince and Masonic, Occult, and Esoteric. Esoteric means inside knowledge. Exoteric means for the...
Okay, so because you found it in that section on a website, that means he automatically is that? Oh my god.
Public. This is for the unenlightened ones. Just taking a look at the...
Whistle 34 with 11 months says, oh no, the hand sign. I mean, nobody but gangsters hold their hands like that, except maybe priests.
Actual website itself.
Thanks for the hype, everyone.
And you can see at the very top, let's get a better look at that, with the website universalfreemasonry.org, and once again with the title. So, find it interesting how many people look at Tupac as some type of hero, but basically he's idolizing someone that's into Freemasonry, because obviously Tupac is a Freemason himself, no doubt whatsoever. Now, if someone's going to make a claim, they have to have multiple pieces of evidence to support that claim, and definitely doing that with the predictive programming aspect, the connection with Machiavelli, the Italian, and Tupac's Machiavelli. Let's take a look here at, as many know, Akil the MC. I'm going to point out several things here. First off, the mannerisms, obviously the appearance, and a couple aspects physically that give this away as Tupac. Let's get right to it.
And stuff. I've been in the UK, but now I'm
more like get right Tupac. Jake Thoney says, actually, sir, you're a Freemason. See? I can say it too. Hermetic Cuttlefish says, I think Machiavelli, since Machiavelli was born in 1469, we can pretty reliably conclude is now dead without any faking. You never know.
Denmark, right?
Now, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the first solo show.
Yeah. Nah.
So how's that going? How do you feel about touring, solo after having toured with Jurassic 5 so many times before?
I mean, it feels good to be out there touching the people. You miss.
Why would you fake your own death as a musician in the 90s just to come back as another musician later? That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Group or whatnot and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You're used to doing something for so long and stuff, so you do miss that and stuff, but then at the same time, you get to showcase what you do and who.
Now take a look here. What do you see when it comes to Akil the MC? Notice a little divot on the side of his nose. Take a look.
No one in the world has nose divots.
Look at Tupac.
Other than Tupac.
With the nose ring. Just in the right spot. Exact same spot with Tupac. That's just one.
Oh my god. It's 3 Pac.
Physical aspect. And one thing is this. The tongue lies, but the teeth don't. These teeth are identical.
They're really not. They're not even close. You're even circling the different teeth. What?
I know some might say the nose is a bit different. Those things cosmetically can be easily changed. Obviously, many people have cosmetic surgery. The teeth is another.
Then why are you comparing similarities if all of it can be changed anyway?
Aspect that cannot be denied. In my estimation, this is the same person. People could come to their own conclusions, but after looking at all aspects and understanding what supposedly went down, obviously in Las Vegas in the music video, as I shown earlier, with the predictive programming, as you see here, and then also, like I said, the connection with Machiavelli here.
Why is he saying like Machiavelli?
Machiavelli.
Machiavelli.
Faked his passing. Like I said here, when it comes to Tupac doing the same. And everything's in order, everything's in line. And take a look at this very last clip with Akil, the MC. And again, in my estimation, this is definitely Tupac to close it out. Take a look and take a listen.
Our tour manager Paul right here, the most coldest guy ever. Internet, working on some pictures and stuff. I like doing pictures.
You have to get past the programming and what's been set in your mind.
Great. Alright, thanks everyone for hanging out. Let me see if is there a cleanse or something real quick. Has Sausage Guy done anything? Sausage. Pesto sausage? Why not? Why not?
Well, hey there, folks, and welcome back, I guess.
Love you too, Mr. Bland.
Today we're gonna make pesto sausage. And, here we have all the ingredients that we're gonna use. We got a basil leaf.
I just want to see
Work
the sausage.
for me.
Oh, it's not even all pesto. I'm unimpressed. This one looks more interesting to me.
Well, hey there, folks, and, welcome back, I guess. Today we're gonna make Italian sausage stuffed crust pizza. We're probably gonna burn this pizza, but that's okay. It's more about the sausage inside of the pizza than the pizza itself. So let's just jump right into it. Here we have our half-thawed, half-frozen pork butt. So to make this Italian sausage, we're gonna need salt and pepper. We don't measure on this show. We measure by feeling. Onion powder and garlic powder, a little bit of thyme. A little bit of rosemary, parsley flakes. Oregano, crushed red pepper flakes. It's for the spice. Basil and fennel seeds. Get it all in there. Get those fennel seeds all up in there. Oh, it smells like an Italian sausage already. Which I guess technically it is. Carry on my sausage, son. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this sausage, we're gonna cook it, and we're gonna encircle the pizza with the sausage to make our stuffed crust. That's the Italian sausage water. In 3C, DC, Doocy. Let's sausage. Oh, you're thick. You're a thick one. With special thanks to today's Mark Boxalo box artist, this guy. He's made a pork butt and ground pork and slices of ham? Sausage eyebrows. I don't even know what that nose is made of. But will it blow? It blew right on the floor. So I'm gonna have to give that, will it blow? Half a ruffalo. Pete's. Now the pizza oven is so hot that it can cook this pizza in like 60 seconds. So we're gonna cook the sausage first, then we're gonna add it to the pizza. Here we go! Let's make this pizza.
You were hallucinating, pickled alien. I don't even know how to juggle. You smell burnt toast.
Just lay our sausage right there. It's gonna be a little pizza. That's okay. Give it some sauce. Get that Give it a little bit of Parmesan there. Give it some mozzarella there. And finish it off with a little bit of pepperoni. It's ready.
800 degrees. That makes me want one of these really bad.
Well, oops. That's gonna be an oopsie from me. Man, is that ugly. Well, at least the sausage is...
The middle part looks good. The crust is burnt to shit, but sure.
Burned. So let's give it a taste test. The pizza side is cooked perfect.
That is a one carcinogenic pizza.
Now for the sausage side of things. Molto bene. The good news is it's just the very outer layer that's burned. So I mean the inside's not burned. So you can barely taste that burnt flavor. You know, the sausage itself is great. It tastes like an Italian sausage. I think where we went wrong is that we made it just way too thick. We should have used smaller casing for this and not made the height so big. I think that's where we went wrong. So we're gonna have to try this one again in the future and make the sausage quite a bit smaller. It's great pizza despite the top layer being burned. Yeah, I mean it's good. That's good. You don't taste the burn, you taste the sausage. So I'm gonna have to give our Italian sausage stuffed pizza here a 4 out of 5.
Okay, let's see who we're gonna raid. Thanks everyone for hanging out.
Calling down lightning right now?
Of war. The next video has some more details on this.
The F-16, the back...
Alright, have a great night everyone. I will see you tomorrow. I believe Sunday we're gonna do a patron only live stream, so you can become a patron. Patreon.com/HannahReloaded if you'd like to be a part of that. Otherwise, you go out and you all have a great night. See you guys later. Adios. Love you, Mr. Blast.